Beers, Bombs, Bullshit, episode 46.
You bring the beer, I'll bring the bud. We'll both bring the bullshit. We might get too high.
Episode
16, Gonna listen to us talk shit. Beers, bombs, bullshit. You gotta listen to us talk shit.
Yeah, welcome back, Beers, Bongs, and Bullshit, episode 46. I'm one Big P, Katie K, yours truly, True Justice, and our special guest today, Deekon Jones. What's up, bro?
What's good? Thank you for having me.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's what's up.
Can you guys hear through that one?
I can
Okay, you can hear. Hell yeah.
You got me? It's kind of low, huh?
Yeah, it's kind of
It
low.
is.
Kind of low.
It's super low. What is going on?
Oh, you know what?
He didn't plug the mic in.
Oh,
We got technical difficulties.
I'll just pause
oh
real quick.
shit.
Kane, next time don't drink the bong water.
You got me. You got me.
Now we can hear you.
Welcome. Shit.
All right, Deekon Jones, what's up, bro?
Hey,
What's good, man?
how you feeling? How you feeling?
I'm
Good,
feeling
man.
Great.
I'm happy to meet you finally, man.
Yes, definitely. Thanks for having me.
Oh yeah, of course, man. I'm pretty stoked just for the music that the previews you're showing us, man. That shit is dope. When Mike told me about the Talkbox stuff, I got addicted right away.
Yes, yes, sir.
I've been asking him for years. I'm like, so you gonna like drop a like album for real or?
Yeah, I was just telling him today. I'm working on 2 projects right now.
Yeah.
And I realized that the sad fact is I've never dropped a project ever.
Where did you release the one? It was like all Talkbox. That was just like SoundCloud.
No, that was a single that I just released. That's called Past Life. That's on all platforms right now, Spotify. And
Oh,
I thought you had
Apple.
like a full thing.
Oh
at
yeah,
once.
I dropped that for a week.
Like Bandcamp or
Yeah, I
something.
put it out a week. It was on iTunes as well.
So what is that? What's the reasoning behind that? Do you like second guess your
Yeah, it's
work
like
or?
yeah, I'm terrible at thinking that I could do better on every single thing that I do.
Yeah, I get it. I get it.
That's like a curse, you know what I mean? Especially for like musicians and rappers, especially. I feel like,
Yeah, Detox dropping 2021.
you know, it's never going to be right, I feel like. So, I mean,
So someone said he was working on a project. I don't know if it's bullshit or not, but they're like, I think it was Rick Ross, and Rick Ross said, Dre's working on the project. I'm working on some shit with Dre, and Andre 3000 is working with Dre. I said, get the fuck out of here.
That'd be kind of dope.
Like
though.
Andre 3000, like solo with some Dre shit. That'd be kind of different.
Oh, Dre
yeah, that would be
too.
different.
for sure.
That would be
He
different.
probably murder it, but
He'd murder anything,
yeah.
honestly.
I like that Millionaire song with him and Khalees, man.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
a good one.
Did you hear?
Andre?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I know that one.
Did you hear his verse on 16 Ain't Enough with Ross? Like, they got a version on YouTube. It's like 2 minutes long, and it's Andre only because a lot of people don't fuck with Ross. I can tolerate it, but fucking Andre's verse is crazy.
Now I got to check that out.
Nas with Ross's beat selection. Ross got one of the illest.
He picks dope-ass
He got
beats.
one of the illest beat selections ever.
He does. He really
like,
does.
like if he wasn't such so suspect, I would rank him because a guilty pleasure of mine. I like listening. I'm like, God damn, this is tight. There's like a song called Santorini Grease, and I'm like, God damn, this shit is dope. And then you like think of what Rick Ross really is, and you're like, well, you just got to take it for what it is. He's a clown, but it's dope
Yeah, he could write. He could write.
if he's writing.
yeah, I doubt he's writing those bars.
Because people were like, oh, don't doubt Drake's pen game, and I was like, Drake got pen game. Like, you can't be one of the greatest rappers if you don't write your own shit. Like, and they were like talking about, I think back in the day, Gilly the Kid was writing Wayne shit, and I don't know who was writing Drake shit.
That Carter too, man. I'm pretty sure Gilly the Kid did a lot of that Carter too.
Yeah.
you
That's
guys
why it
knew?
sounded so different.
That's when Wayne was spazzing.
Did any of you guys check that new Drake project yet?
I heard
I listened to one track.
Yeah.
people were
I'll check
praising
it
it.
when I get my TikTok.
People are praising it, and I'm just like, man, I can't take myself to. They're like, even if you know, remembering a ghost track is important too, and I'm like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that was Quentin Miller.
Was that who that was?
Yeah,
that
was
said
Quentin,
that.
No, it's Quentin Miller that was penning that.
Oh, okay.
A lot of that shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Especially if you get lyrics on paper too and a reference track. I'm like,
And a reference.
Anybody can do it at that point.
Oh, come on.
Man, you still
like whatever.
you still
You don't think
cooking?
so, P?
No, I
think it's
do.
still-
I think
oh.
that's ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
You still cooking?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted
How's
to
that
ask
shit
about
going?
it.
Because I've been seeing like even some of your stuff. It looks healthy, but it sounds comforting. Like, and especially if you're getting down with the greens and all that stuff, man.
Yeah.
Motherfucking catfish.
So how are you seasoning your greens if you don't use pork fat in them?
No, I can't really talk about that.
Okay.
No, but
They're vegan though, yeah?
some of them, yeah.
Okay.
I do a vegan batch as well, but the other ones, just like a lot of other folks, they use turkey neck bones, and shit, you know. So
Word.
you know, you'll keep it a little.
Turkey's a little more healthy?
Yeah, for sure.
Still good though.
Yeah, delicious.
I put turkey and pork in the motherfucker, man.
Yeah, when I'm going ham. Yeah. Ham
Turkey
hocks.
and ham.
When I'm going ham hocks.
How long you been cooking?
A long time, man. I've been throwing down for a long time, but I just recently started thinking about doing more like a food truck or some, you know. And when I started, I just wanted to do soul food. It's my favorite food. Just like you said, the catfish, the greens, the shrimp and grits. Shrimp and grits is my favorite meal of all time.
Huh. Damn.
And
I don't think I ever had shrimp and grits.
you're
man.
tripping.
I've never had it.
Yeah, y'all are tripping.
I've never had it together.
Yo, man, y'all are tripping. Okay, you gotta have. I'm
Mike?
gonna make some.
No.
Yeah.
No?
Oh man,
Just slang that at the
shit.
cart.
So like
man.
as far as soul food that I'm really familiar with and that I really love, greens obviously. My kid's grandmother taught me how to make those. Rest in peace, and she was a beast. She made me chitlins one time. I can't fuck with chitlins. She got the house smelling like shit, but I tried them one time. But you know, red beans and rice, black eyed peas.
Mac and cheese, is that soul food?
yeah,
I
for
mean, it
sure.
depends.
Baked mac and cheese.
Depends
Yeah,
how you make it.
Yeah, if you pull it out of a craft box,
it-
fuck no. That's WP. That's
There ain't no
WPS.
soul. Yeah, there's no soul in the craft box.
Did a baked mac and cheese.
Is that like the Taco Bell to Mexican food?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. 100%.
Catfish with a remoulade sauce.
Right.
What's that? What's remoulade sauce?
It's like a maybe he described it better than me, but it's like an aioli. It's mayo based and it's got like lemon juice, Creole mustard, Worcestershire sauce, hot sauce, some other things. Just
Yeah, for sure. And cream spinach. That's another one that's just like, I was never a spinach type of person, but when you it ends up like greens, but then you put the sauce on top of it as well.
Bacon.
It's crazy.
bacon, green beans, and potatoes. That's a black eyed peas, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't consider ribs soul food, but that's something I would pair with something like that.
Beef short ribs, all that stuff. Yeah, I love to do all that. And then other thing that I'm trying to do is make things a little healthier. So
Soul food's extremely bad for you.
yeah, for sure.
Sodium
That's
like a
how it
motherfucker.
And so now I'm trying to just find more ways to make the recipes even healthier. So when I'm thinking, I have so many things going on right now that the food is just kind of falling back to.
Yeah.
I'm cooking at home and I'll post a picture of it or something just to see if people
Right.
are like, yo, I'll buy that. You know? But so I've been just thinking about doing more healthy things and making foods more accessible to everybody that's not really in a position to go to a wellness tree and buy one juice for $10. You
Right.
know, and then you're like, dang, that was a shot for $10. Or you know, you get one smoothie, it's $9.50 or $11.
I don't
you know?
feel any stronger.
Yeah, for sure. So that's one of my biggest things I'm trying to do right now is do like a health food truck that is we'll go to the east side, we'll go to Hilliard, and we'll say, hey man, we got some affordable juices and smoothies and all. You know, there's food deserts around. You know, so if you're low income, you ain't gonna go to the grocery store and find dragon fruit. and all these fresh berries and fruits and vegetables and
Right.
everything.
I love that the homies are cooking, especially the ones that are good. I several that are just doing their thing. I have a partner that had started it's called Big Daddy's. It's like Asian fusion, but the thing that's really bomb off the truck is the banh mi sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't really get them in Spokane unless you hit a Vietnamese restaurant really early because they seem to be sold out before like 11 or 12.
Oh, damn, like that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, banh mi's the truth.
Bomb.
We talked about that on the show before, right?
Yeah.
Banh mi, yeah. I think Mike's brought it up once.
So
or
you,
twice.
I think
But-
back in the day it was fucking bomb looking. I think it was elk meat Indian tacos or something.
Oh, yeah,
or like
for
sliders or something.
Yeah, I made them. They were like miniature size, so you could fit them in the palm of your hand. And
Are you seeing that shit? I'm like, yo, man, where can I
Bro.
buy this? I just made this for me. Oh, fuck you, man. Shit.
Well, like,
yeah,
because aside from cooking and rapping, cooking beats up in the studio, you do a lot of other dope ass things to help a lot of people.
sure.
From what I understand.
Yeah, so somebody mentioned hip-hop, healing through hip-hop.
Yeah.
What is that?
yeah. That's it's a outpatient treatment facility that I started. It's called New Developed Nations, and I'm working with youth that are experiencing addiction and mental health crises.
That's
so
awesome, bro.
I
That's
call it.
dope.
Yeah, so it's called Healing Through Hip Hop, and I bring the kids in, and we make music. They tell me, I'll give them a topic for their song to come in, and I'll say, tell me your earliest memories that you have all the way up to where you are today in this first track, right? And if they need help putting the rhymes together, like they never rapped or nothing, I'll help them do that. And then what I find is I learn in that one track, usually in that first verse even of the track, all these traumas that these kids have gone through, because there's no more truth that in this world than there is in music, So they tell that story, and I'm like, okay, so we'll find. They won't spell it out, but you can decipher what they're saying. So a kid will be writing a whole verse about how they grew up and they were struggling and they need this and that, and I'm like, do you know what food trauma is? They're like, nah, I never heard of that. And I'm like, okay, do you experience X, Y, and Z when, around food and you're hoarding food and people are talking about it? And they're like, yeah, I've been dealing with that my whole life. I'm like, okay. So now your treatment plan is around food trauma. It's not even about the substances that you're using.
Yeah, you're getting to the root.
Yeah.
Hell
And,
yeah.
and so we're finding we got good success rates doing work that way. Right. So it's blown up once before when I was in an inpatient treatment facility when I was I brought the program there, and then now I got a brand new Developed Nations is a brand new nonprofit organization, and we're doing that. We're just now seeing clients, and it's picking up right where it left off. So it's dope. I love it. The kids do all the work, so I just kick back and I'm like, write a rap, and they're like, oh, let's do it, and they do it, and they're telling me all this information that I could build around and support them through everything that they're spitting.
That's
You
incredible.
You
I
working
love
with
that.
just kids here? You got some kids from Lapway come up, or
No, right now I'm doing just kids in Washington. 'Cause that's where I'm at now. I'm trying to get back home. I've been trying to get back home for a long time to bring this program back to Lapway, and so hopefully one day we'll get it there. But right now my outpatient is an actual outpatient facility for the state of Washington, and so I'm working with kids in Spokane right now. We just got a contract with juvenile court, and we're working on building another studio in 5 days so I can bring kids in person, because right now I've been doing it telemedicine over the Zoom situation.
what
Beautiful.
No, that is so
that's
cool.
So dope.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
what's
No,
the
we need more of that info after this so we could share that and spread that word. What are the age
For sure.
groups?
Right now I'm doing mostly teens, 13 to 18.
Okay.
But what I'm doing is I'm about to put out these new job descriptions so I can hire some teams and put them into different locations around the city, because say that first contract with Spokane County, right? I won't be able to service all of those kids.
Yeah.
And so, but at the same time, I'm missing all those kids that don't that haven't been in the system yet. So I want to do prevention work before the kids get into the system.
Yeah,
I
that's
quit
huge.
my job right now. Don't tell any of my coworkers.
No, real shit. I would want to be a part of that.
Yeah, man.
No
Yeah, and that's
doubt.
what I'm doing. And what I'm doing is I'm working with an organization that's helping me. They believe in what's going on, so they're going to help me get my employees serviced and credentialed as peer support specialists as well.
Yeah.
So people that have gone through these troubles, I can hire them.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I want to bring everybody. You live this life. You went through what? You were in the system. You were locked up. And, these people might have trouble getting a job. I'm like, come over here. We're going to train you up, and we're going to put you in these situations where these kids can look at you and be like, okay, I can be like you.
I was a peer at one time, but it was kind of a newer idea. So I guess we didn't exactly know what we were doing, which is something I'd like to explore again.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
It's huge, especially with youth. They need somebody that they can trust and know that they've been through it and they're not bullshitting them. Because
For sure.
that's the issue with most of us have, right? Is like if somebody's trying to give us advice, but we can see they never been through it before.
Well, I haven't
we're
seen
like,
it.
Get the fuck out.
I didn't see it with adult social services. Like you see some of the, and they're like, oh well, they got a freaking master's degree, but they're idiots. I don't know how any way to say it. They're just like sitting there and they're like, you don't know a thing about this person. They're like, I think, you're trying to doctor him. You're not talking to him like a fucking human being. You're talking to him like a fucking science experiment.
Yep.
That case number.
And
It's like,
and I've walked into spaces where I got a new kid coming in, and I walk in, and the kid is like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Yo, I run this program. You're in my program." And they're like, "Damn, okay." Dude is tatted up. He's black, native. He's he looks like me. So that's like shit. That's a leg up right there to be able to have representation.
It makes you feel way more comfortable when you're in that situation as a kid too, to see someone who looks like you on the other side of the table, man.
Oh yeah,
You
for
know
sure.
what I mean? Because fuck, every time it's usually just it's a white judge, it's a white attorney. It's if you get treatment on the res, then die you could get in his program for counseling. You know what I mean? He's a native counselor, but fuck, there's not. You don't see anybody who looks like you.
Do you guys ever
This
crack
guy,
up
dude.
when they say it'll be determined by a judge of your peers and like y'all folks, and you look up and it's 12 white people?
Yeah.
Said my peers.
Fucking cold blood.
Yeah,
I want to move.
100%.
Yeah.
I was working. I had the privilege to work with some of the kids this week, actually, doing some projects. And man, it's good to see that because I work with a lot of adults and they seem like broken. And some of these kids, you see brightness and you see that they're not totally broken yet. Like some of the adults, you're like, man, they're just lost and they're broken and I don't want to say unrepairable. But some of them like fried themselves so bad that they're just. These kids, they still got sense of humor. They're still bright, even though there's.
well, they're still
got some
curious.
trouble. Yeah, they are. There's this kid in there. He said the funniest shit. So I'm in there, and he's like, "Guys, I had sex with a girl last night." His buddy looks at him. He's like, "I thought you were gay." He said, "Thought I was too."
Nice. Still figuring it out.
And I was like, talking to him, and we were just talking. I was like, man, I was like doing this study, man, and it basically says that a child's brain's not developed till they're in their 20s. So you're still
25-ish,
figuring it out. So you could be one or the other, but you don't know if you're gay or you're not now. You know what I'm saying? Because you're still figuring shit out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of that's the next frontier is going into adults because when I left the facility I was at before, I had a offer to come in and teach at a 4-year university. They said they asked me for my credentials, and I said I ain't got no credentials, bro. And they're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "I ain't. What do you mean?"
You just like to help people.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I did research and development on my own. I read for years. I wrote for years. I try to make everything line up with the science, and just to show you that what we do works already. And so they said, okay, we're going to figure this out. So they sent in the dean to sit on my classes where I taught third and fourth year people my approach, the students. So the students were anywhere from 18 to, I think the oldest was like 46, right? And I'm like, okay, let's try this. And the adults, I mean, the breakthroughs that I had with those students right there were just probably even more like everybody was just disclosing information. They're like, I've never told anybody this. I don't know why I'm saying this in this song, you know? And I'm just like, just tell your truth. And so right there is when I saw, and I got the letters at the end of the year. They write about the class and they rank us and all this stuff. And everybody was like, it's the best class I ever had. And so I got to add adjunct professor to my resume. You know, I'm like, and they're like, adjunct, whoa, where'd you go to school? I'm like, I ain't got no credentials.
Hey, man.
Get it, bro.
That
Tell
makes
him,
me like
man.
it even better.
That's fucking amazing, bro. Yeah.
That's a success story. When did you start it? Did I miss that?
I first brought it like 05, man.
Okay.
There was no Boys and Girls Club in Lapway on the res there, right? And so there was finally one in like 03 and 04, and I was just like, let me help. And so they let me come and help. And I remember my wage was like $6.15 an hour, right?
Yeah.
And they're just like, come through, and I'm like, cool, I'm grateful, let's do this. And I asked them to do this program because I'm like, this works for me, and I want to see if it works for other kids. And so once the kids, they were 6 years old to 18, and once they gave me a shot to do it, the kids were disclosing information that had us like. They were like, we can't do this. And I said, y'all, you're completely right. We can't do this. But so they were disclosing information that told me, one, this works, but two, we ain't ready for this.
Yeah.
Right. And so we just kind of put it on ice until 09 when I came up here to Spokane and I brought it to an inpatient treatment facility for youth. And they had all the chemical dependency professionals and mental health professionals and everything. Tried it again, same results, but this time I had a team. And so it got picked up. They were like, this is crazy. We need to create a position for you here. Yeah. And so they did. And I was just like, okay. What are your credentials? Like, everybody knows by now.
They're starting right now.
I ain't got none.
You got credentials now?
Kinda. Like I'm a counselor now.
Right.
I have my license for counseling, peer support specialist also. My business is credentialed as an outpatient treatment facility for the state of Washington. Legit business license. I have insurance. I have contracts with county departments, schools in District 81 in Spokane. I'm 100% legit. But when you ask me where'd you graduate from, I'll ask you, why do you need to know anything?
Why does it matter?
Yeah.
Lapway, man.
Yeah, Lapway High School. I love y'all.
What kind of stipulations do you have with the kids? Like if they're an outpatient, they have to do certain shit to be in the program and not go elsewhere, correct?
When the kid gets assessed, they got to go get an assessment to see if they meet level 1 or 2 outpatient, which my facility takes. So if they're deemed to need level 1 or 2, they can choose my program, and then we can do healing through hip hop and whatever else you need.
Dude, see, like, cause I be driving Lyft, right? And I talk about you often when someone has a teenager, because sometimes the teen is fucking up. Mm-hmm. And I tell them about your program, and every parent is like, God, how do I like Deekon Jones on Facebook? I don't know. You know, I'm like, fuck. So, like, do you have a website where we can send people now and shit too?
NewDevelopedNations.com.
Okay.
Developed.
Oh, developed.
Developed.
You have to put that at the end for people with slow attention spans. So
We'll put it in
so
the
say a kid
comments.
doesn't much like hip hop, but they like music. What do you offer?
We do any genre the kid wants to do.
Okay.
Healing through hip hop is a catchy phrase.
Catchy,
right?
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
for sure.
So
But
kids like, I want to sing, I want to do rock music.
Oh,
Are
yeah,
you
we-
equipped to do bands and?
yeah, we do all of that. And
8 in, man.
yeah, and had some kids. There's one kid that wanted to do country, and I was shook. I was like, okay.
Is he a white kid?
Yeah, he was, yeah. And I was shook. I'm like, all right, let's do this. I'm equipped, right? And then so he starts making a song, and he's telling me what kind of song he wants. So I'm listening to the reference tracks, and I'm like,
Keep your nose to the grindstone.
Yeah.
Trying to sound like
yeah,
that guy.
100%, right? And so I'm like,
Yeah.
I start finding some samples and playing some stuff, and then I'm like, okay, let me add the drums. And then I'm like, I was so stupid. This is how stupid. I was like, country has drums, right? You know? And so I started
like a snare.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
And so I put hip hop drums on this country beat that I was making, and he heard it and he said, I'm a country rapper, bro. And he did a rap song over the country beat, and he was he loved it.
It works though. Did you like when you hear like Everlast from House of Pain? I like him better as a blues singer, honestly.
Yeah, for sure.
But when he was doing the guitar and he was singing in the really gruff voice, but he had the fucking 808 hip hop drums in the background. Even like the song with Carlos Santana, you're like, man, this is kind of hip hop, but it's not.
Yeah, I love it.
It's kind of tight.
It's kind of tight. Yeah, the what's his name? Breland with the "Don't Touch My Truck" joint.
I don't think I heard it.
Oh,
I've heard that shit, bro.
yo,
Like,
that gets stuck
is-
in my head.
Yeah.
Like, man, I can't. I'll hear it like,
Don't touch my truck.
yeah,
Just
it's-
something like that.
yeah, and I'm just like, damn, bro, I got to run that whole track back.
Oh, that's crazy, man. Yeah, it's weird the fusions and like genre bending that they're doing these days, man. It's cool as fuck to watch, you know.
For sure.
It's needed to.
Yeah, that's dope.
I think so.
Just
Something
all
new.
music.
Something new, something different.
Like
I mean-
I pitched that idea to one of our, I don't know if I can say the program, so I like one of the programs at work, and they was, oh, it's a great idea, but then they're like, just bring your laptop and a microphone, and I'm like, that's not all I want to do.
Yeah.
Like, if a kid comes in and he's like, well, I don't want to write a song singing just to an instrumental or rapping, to give them the option to,
Yeah.
or say, hey, I want to make a beat or something, to give them the option to do that. Or if they want to freaking be like, hey, I want to do a country song, be like, yeah, let's do that too.
Exactly. And that's what when I do my like keynotes and do presentations and stuff, it says healing through hip hop, and then in parentheses in all other genres. You know, just to let them know. So we've done some dope country stuff and some dope like some punk stuff, some
That's cool, man.
but I also tell them, if you want to journal, that's fine with me too.
Yeah.
If you want to do spoken word, that's fine. Poetry, that's fine. Just as long as we can start telling a story, you know, creative writing, let's do it.
Yeah.
What about instrumentation and stuff like
That
that?
too.
If they're like, hey, I want to play the freaking trombone or something.
Yeah, what I do, I had a couple of kids that wanted to learn to play guitar, and I can't teach anybody to play guitar, so I'm like,
Right.
I'm gonna bring somebody in.
Right.
Just bring somebody in. Like,
Right.
you want to volunteer? I got a legit nonprofit organization. Let's teach some kids how to play.
I'm just saying that's kind of how it was. I don't know if Kane remembers, but there's Ethos, and a friend of ours worked there as a nonprofit music organization. He did the hip hop side of stuff, but I was like talking to like, there's a gal in there that was teaching piano, dude that was teaching brass, woodwind instruments, how to record music videos,
Yeah.
dance lessons.
That's man. Those kids too. It really helped them. It wasn't addiction based, but it was. Kids
It was
who were
just
getting in
it
trouble.
was that
Like-
at-risk kids in Northeast Portland.
Yeah.
I got in there like, oh, you're talking to the ghetto kids, and I'm like, I don't want to say it like that, but it was like off of MLK, so you could imagine. And like if they didn't have their academics right at school, they'd be pulled from the
Yeah.
program.
And everybody.
So that was
liked
the end.
making beats and music, so everybody behaved at school, so they could go to that program.
That was the incentive. If your grades ain't right, you can't participate.
Yeah, see that, and that's what's crazy is I can't operate that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, man, because what happens is, and I've seen it from working in facilities, it's like, bro, you messed up, you lost your privileges. Then it's like, what? Well, now what?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
Now
that
I'ma
last bit of hope.
Yeah, now
Now
I'm
they
gonna
gonna
punch a
act-
hole in somebody's
yeah.
face.
Yeah, they
gonna
need
act
something
out.
for sure.
Yeah, you know.
100%.
So I always tell him, man, you're gonna. And I talk to him. I'm like, I'm gonna be here. Anytime you need something, shoot me a message anywhere. I'm gonna hit you back as soon as I can. But if you have a mistake, I'm not gonna boot you out the program. I'm gonna try to help you. You know. So I'm always telling people, man, we can't make it. That's a punitive system. When you're telling them, yo, you make a mistake, you're out of here. You know, because we're bound to I'm gonna make a mistake.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
and you kick me
good,
out, then
yeah.
I'm like, I got no hope left.
That's what I don't like, that drug court program when
Yeah,
you
it's-
get some serious charges and they put it's meant for you to fail.
Yeah,
bro.
just like probation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
Parole.
I'm like, Yeah, dude. Especially when it's heavy hard drugs too, or it's, 'cause, dude.
Well-
it is. You can't. I've seen some success stories. People made it through that, but fuck, most people don't. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Most people violate, get sent back, and then get worse violations than if they were on regular probation because you're in drug court and this is an opportunity.
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
just fucked it all off. Now you're going back.
They weren't eliminated from the program 100%. You know, back in the day when you fucked up or even now if you fuck up in a sporting event that you don't get to suit up and play the next game. Like that kind of shit. It wasn't like, oh, your grades are fucked up, you can't ever come back. Like your grades are slipped and get them up, then you come back.
What was that one kid who played football for Oregon? He punched the kid in the first game, but he got to play like the last half of the last game or something, right? What was his name?
Oh damn, I don't remember.
LeBlunt or something like
Garrett
that.
Garrett Blunt.
Yeah.
Oh, is that dude the running back for the
Yeah,
Patriots?
He ended up being with the Patriots and winning the ring. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
See, I like that story too because it was Boise State. I
Yeah,
think they were
it
playing.
was.
It was a bunch of shit talking white boys from down there. You know what I mean? And
That was a clean punch.
Yeah, he won them. Just won. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then he was off of the team the whole season.
Yeah.
And then the very last game, I think he got 3 or 4 plays in at the end. And
Hey, they said that
I was like, man, that's cool. It's cool to hear you got a ring too. I
Yeah.
don't watch much football, you guys.
Yeah, he got a ring.
them white dudes on the O line or D line, and you see them. I guess they, like I was telling you, I was talking to my cousin's husband. He said they say some extremely racist shit. They say some some shit to just really piss you off. And I'm like,
Right.
but
Oh,
you
in the
can't hear it
NFL
until you get
stuff?
them mic'd up, and then they're all,
Yeah.
But,
Good game.
yeah.
Good game, LeGarrette.
That was a nice tackle. Nice tackle.
They're saying some foul shit, man.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna guess that music had to have played a huge part in your life of just getting through some shit to start that, to have that passion for it.
Oh yeah.
Like, at what age did you start, like working with music, learning how to write for yourself and things like that?
I don't think I could even put an age on it, right? Because I still remember. I remember the first rap I ever learned in my life was "Freaky Tales" by Too Short. Right?
Okay.
I was like 3-4 years old, and I got an older brother. He's 14 years older than me.
Oh, okay.
Right. So
He had a bunch of CDs. Too,
Oh, yeah.
bro. All kinds of rap CDs.
yeah.
Man.
And so I'm just
Yeah.
like, I grow up. My moms and pops was nothing but Motown, like absolutely nothing but Motown, right? And so a lot of my favorite singers are Motown singers, and I just love R&B and all that stuff. But my brother, every time we had to share a room ever since I was a baby, right?
Yeah.
And so all it is Too Short, RBL Posse, Above the Law, Dre Dog,
Yeah.
DJ Quick, Snoop and Dre.
I got a lot of influence from you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Growing up, like because the CD collection was shit that I fucking didn't have or didn't have access to. So it was like, man, can we listen to this? Like,
Yeah.
pop this in, man.
Dre Dog made me want to fight people back in the day just because he was like, motherfucker, so I heard you like to run your mouth.
Oh yeah, hell yeah! And then IMP, Illmatic Players with Coog Nut.
Coog Nut was hard,
and I'm
yeah.
just like, bruh, I never.
His voice, man.
Yeah, and that's what I knew. That's the first thing I ever knew was all of those groups, and everybody else was like, what are you listening to, man? Why is these people, Brother Lynch? Why are people talking about
Coog Nut.
eating babies?
Yo,
you know.
Coog Nut died,
Oh, yeah.
died in a way that you wouldn't imagine because he sounded fucking like one of the baddest motherfuckers alive. You get down and rap like this, and they're like, and Coog Nut died in driving home from a fishing trip. And I'm like, damn it. Rest in peace, Coog Nut, though, man. He
Yeah,
was
one of
dope.
my favorite rappers of all time.
Yeah.
And I think the craziest thing is all of those groups and all those rappers that I just grew up on, that was just, it was second nature, right? Like everything else didn't make sense. So when people was talking about Nas and Jay and all them, I was just like, who?
It was. I remember him.
Yeah.
If I put Jay-Z on in my car, he'd be like, man, let's listen to something else, man. You know what I mean? I would have dug your guys' votes last week.
Yeah, that's real.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I sound like none of them. Like
Yeah.
I don't even know why, but I just sound like none of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, from what I heard, yeah, you wouldn't get that
know?
influence from
Yeah,
that.
it's crazy.
Because basically you were more or less influenced by the Bay Area hip hop.
Bay and well SoCal as well. Like my favorite artist was DJ Quick,
Oh yeah,
right?
Oh,
and so
hell
I
yeah.
was just like,
He could have won that motherfucker.
Yeah,
Maybe
see, he would've-
there
yeah,
ain't no
he
way he's
would've-
beating Pac, but he could have won that.
He
motherfucker.
would have called Rick instead of Cordell. Yeah. Quick
Cordell
would've
picked
won
the
that
game
one.
over DJ Quick.
I'm gonna need that hook back.
man.
Come on, bro.
Yeah,
Nah,
I
because
love DJ Quick too, bro. I was, man.
I was the most foul mouthed little kid. You would see me at 3 years old and be like, "This kid is going to jail soon."
Hey yo, what song were me and you discussing? Because we was talking about old school shit, and you was like, "Man, this is my favorite song of all time," and I'm drawing a blank.
Me, and that's the craziest thing. You ask me my favorite food, it'd be like I'd have no answer.
Yeah,
Like this, 'cause
you
I
said
love
this is my
food.
favorite song ever.
Yeah,
and we were talking about
grits, but that's Green Onions by Booker T and
yeah, that
AMGs.
song's dope.
My favorite song, my single song, and there's no lyrics. It's just instrumental, you know. But
I said I wish we could play that on this motherfucker, man.
yeah, for some, that's just my favorite song of all time. It's like perfect. I'm like 4 years old and I can hum every instrument through the whole song, every verse, every bridge, every change. I can hum it since
You
I was
guys know
like 4.
you guys know the song?
I never- I don't think I- well,
if
you
we
heard the
played it right
beginning-
now, you would know exactly what
Yeah,
it is. You just probably don't know, but everyone knows that song.
Yeah,
We'll have to,
At least I hope so.
throw it on after.
and it's crazy that I can pick one song. It's my favorite, you know.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, it's because there's so many to pick from. Yeah,
They're
so many
talking
different.
about
There are a
feelings.
lot.
Has nothing to do with hip hop.
Yeah. You're like, no, that's the favorite. Was it the first song? One of the first songs you heard or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was like, oh, that song's bad. That's a dope song. I don't even remember what the topic of conversation
me
was.
neither.
What about, man? Do you remember writing down raps though, Rick?
Oh,
And
my
then
God.
recording on the tape deck at my mom's house with the sock on the mic.
Hell yeah.
And we only had a left or a right, and we only had one mic. So
You got
could
one
only-
take?
Yeah, man. So when we recorded the tape, when you'd hear it in your car or something, it would only play on the left speaker, right? Because that was the left input that we had the mic for. You know what I mean?
Oh,
And
that's
my
awesome.
silly ass would always try to double time rap too. So one take
He
with
was
double time
fast.
rapping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had
It was
one.
the beat nuts.
Yeah,
Off the books.
hell
Off the
yeah.
books.
Oh, that's
Beat blue.
that's just dope. Hey, bro.
Yeah. That was one of my first times ever recording, and it was me and Rick.
You remember,
it was pretty cool. It was good times.
Fuck. I had a karaoke machine and I put one tape in to record my lead vocal, and I didn't have anything to cut and paste, so I did all my hooks every time all the way through. And I took another tape. I put the tape I just recorded on, put it to another one, put the other tape to do my dubs and stuff. So I have like 3 or 4 tapes, and the end tape would be the done.
See, that's advanced.
Yeah,
we
see,
we
yeah.
had one.
I didn't
verse.
know what dubs were when I
We
started.
had one
Yeah.
take,
Yeah.
one verse, one track.
Yep. and then I would do mixes of whatever CDs in my collection. I would make a mixtape. You know what I mean? And then stick that one in the middle. You know what I mean? And then so
Oh,
people
yeah.
they were like, "Oh, was that you, Ricky?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, it was good. That shit was cool." I'm like, "Damn, they only played on the left speakers." Though.
Good.
Good. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, that's off the chain.
yeah.
I remember rapping at this fool's house, and I was like, how do we record here? He's like, this is how I record. And I was like, I can't hear me.
I was like, hey, you gotta keep. That's why I still have this habit.
And he just
It's
rapped
like,
in
you
the
just
mic. I
gotta
was like,
keep
how do you
going
know? How do you know if it's like sounding funny or anything? And he's like, no, I just do it, and then you dub it without hearing it. And I'm like, man, this is fucking
trip
weird.
it.
And then we figured out. I was like, oh, we just gotta do this, and we can. He's like, we can hear ourselves now.
I know that was crazy, but I still to this day keep one phone off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what about writing? You know, one of the first things that got me in down every song that I liked, all their lyrics. You know,
Yeah.
y'all do that?
Radio used to do that. Too,
Man, I do it.
I may have done that
I got
once
it.
or
I'd
twice.
write down every Bone Thugs and Harmony verse I could understand. I'd write it down.
Yeah.
Do or die. I'd write it down.
Well, because my uncle Josh, he was a couple years older than me. Him and his friends would make Bone Thugs fan pages, right? And so you had to have a cool banner, and you had to have a cool lyrics page, right? So all
Like
the
on
albums-
Angel Fire or something like that.
Yeah, just like that. Exact. Yeah. So when I would read his lyrics and I'm like, that's not what they're saying, bro. You know what I mean? You're like, well, what? And so I would correct some of his. pages.
that's so funny.
I got a lobotomy.
Dude, yeah, and so his homies would be like, "Hey,
Oh,
yo,
dude.
who helped you with that?" He'd be like, "Oh, my nephew." You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah,
That's so
because
funny.
it was We listened to a lot of Bone Thugs.
Did anyone really
man.
fully understand Bone though?
I looked at the lyrics to Crossroads not too long ago, and I was actually kind of disappointed. I'd rather leave it a mystery.
I
When you
refuse
read the
to read
lyrics,
those lyrics now.
don't ever do it.
I made up a lot of shit for sure when I was
But
listening
it's
to that.
better that way. The things they actually say in that song are dumb as fuck.
Yo, there's this girl. She comes in. You remember the smoking jack movement?
Yep.
She said no. They're saying smoking cat food. And we're like, no,
sense.
they fucking don't. But I'm like, could be.
But that shit, that was my favorite group of all time. I ain't gonna front on them.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna front on them.
Yeah, Bone Thugs were, I mean, I was obsessed with them when I was like 13, 14, 15, you know,
Yeah.
for sure.
Hey, man.
It's probably about the first three albums. The Bone Enterprises album was
Hey.
crazy. The Faces of Death. And then,
Okay, I'm glad you said that because I remember I was 9 when Creeping on the Come Up came out,
Yeah.
right? I remember getting it. I got it for Christmas and a little boombox that played, it was a CD
Hell
and
yeah.
a CD player, and I was like, it's a rap, right?
were you allowed to
dope.
listen to rap with cuss words in it?
Yeah, 100%.
Nice.
My parents didn't like it. They're like, "What you listening to that shit for?" They'll tell me not to listen to cuss words while yelling cuss words at me.
Yeah,
You listen to that fucking cuss words for?
This is fucking trash.
Bro,
I know. What the fuck? Why do you listen to cuss words?
when my mom found the Master P CD with the song Killer Pussy and it said like it had the track, I'm like, why you got to put the track listing on the fucking CD, man?
On the front.
You know what's crazy too is like I'll play. It was 8 Ball and MJG, right? Love them cats, and I'm
They're one of
playing
my
it.
favorite groups.
Yeah, and pretty soon I'm playing it in my room, and I hear some shit from the living room. Like I turn it down a little. It's my dad spitting the 8 Ball and MJG verses. I'm like, oh, you like this, huh? He's like, yeah, this one's good, man. This one's good.
That's tight.
Yeah.
Did your pop play baseball?
Basketball.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. He was
Yeah.
he was a beast. He was him and I would always talk shit to each other
Yeah.
before he passed.
Well, because that's one thing I don't want to leave out of the story either is you were a really good ball player growing up. You
Yeah,
know
I
what
hooped.
mean?
I
Like,
hooped.
yeah.
I don't tell anybody.
Yeah, I'm not trying to hype you up too much, but he's very talented writer, but also very, very talented basketball player, man. You could dunk it too.
Yeah, where it
Oh,
is
yeah.
on the
Yeah,
streets.
hell
Yeah, you
yeah,
could throw
dude.
down at one
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, man, I got my first throwdown when I was 12. That's what
Oh
I try
my
to tell
God,
people.
dude.
I'm like, but it was like some stuff that people weren't used to in Idaho, you know? They were
Yeah,
like,
bro.
they're like, that's crazy, right?
Because
And-
you were like a freshman when I was a senior.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so even like when we were in middle school, you were fucking tall, bro.
yeah.
And I was just like, that kid's gonna dunk on him when he gets up here, like hard. You know what I mean? Like,
Can you dunk, Paul?
No, I've dunked like once in my life, bro.
Man, you too tall to not be dunking.
I know, right?
yeah, I was.
practice, Paul.
But
Right.
that's a good segue into my son today. They won the state championship today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
congrats.
Okay.
Congrats to.
Go Wildcats.
Yeah, he's a sophomore.
How tall is he?
He's like
shit.
5'10". He's 5,
He ain't
he's
done yet either.
No, he's not done yet. He's 15. We're always telling him, man, you gonna be like 5'8". Like, no, I'm gonna hit a growth spurt, And he was like 2 years ago, he was probably like 5'1". Oh shit. Like, so he hit one growth spurt, and I'm like, yeah, he's gonna hit another one. He'll be all right.
My
Yeah,
son's
I
bigger
mean-
than me, and he ain't pursue no damn sports, man. He wanted to, and I bought him all this shit, and he just like, fuck, pissed me off, man.
Yeah.
I did that to my mom once. She bought me football stuff, and I quit. You gonna pay me back for all that shit?
So I told him, man, I said, man, that shit was expensive, man. I bought you cleats and all this stuff, man, and you ain't playing nothing. I want to be a wide receiver, Dad. Blah blah blah. This, that, and the other thing. And then someone was putting in his head he'd be a linebacker. I was like, man, you way too fucking skinny to be a linebacker.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my boy too. He's skinny, but he got heart. He's tough, and he's a good little hooper too. So he hit. Today was the championship game. He hit 5 threes.
Oh, hell yeah.
He did his thing.
Damn.
what position?
Sophomore?
He's a point guard. Yeah, sophomore.
Dude.
That's what's up.
That's dope.
You guys,
Hell yeah.
you guys won state when you were in high school, innit?
Yeah, we won twice.
So does he have aspirations, or should I say, do you have aspirations for him to
I
pursue
don't.
basketball?
I
No?
don't, and that's what a lot of people get confused by. They're like, because basketball was life, right? And everybody,
Yeah.
and I got tired of it, right? It was
Yeah.
like bruh.
Yeah, burned
my senior year, I'm like, dog, all my class been together since we were 3. Right? Same class. My senior year, everybody got kicked off. I'm like, damn, all my brothers, all my closest friends, they all got kicked off for like smoking and drinking. And I'm like, what are y'all doing, man? So it was me and a bunch of freshmen, and I was like, this is bullshit. I'm not having fun, and I probably won't keep doing this. But I played some college ball and had some good offers, to go play ball. But I was a Reds kid through and through, right? Like I didn't fly on a plane till I turned 16 because I refused. I'm like, if I can't drive there, I'm not going.
I watched La Bamba, man.
Yeah, for sure.
That's how I still feel. I still don't like flying.
I
drive.
don't like it either, man. I
either.
don't either. But I was like,
Fucks with my ears, bro.
I'm like, you're leaving the Reds? Nah, I'll see y'all when you get back. Like it was, I didn't leave much at all. And so when I got offers to go play ball and do track, I won state in track too, triple jump and all that, and they're like, we're gonna pay for you to go D1 Valparaiso, like Georgia, all these other places. I'm like, bro, I'm not going to Indiana. I'm in Idaho now. Why would I go to Indiana? And I'm like, I'm not going 2,000 miles away.
Right.
I'm not, none of that. And I ended up going to Arizona, and I was like, I was homesick the first day I got there. Yeah. I didn't know how to function off of the res.
Yo, this will
when
segue too.
When you don't have support either,
Yeah.
dude, it's tough.
Nobody
Because
knew.
you're used to seeing a familiar face, and usually your bros could see if you had a shitty day. But what the fuck, man? What's wrong with you?
Yep.
You know what I mean? And even if you don't want to talk about it,
You need to cry about it?
So, yeah, you want to cry around for a little bit?
Yeah.
So me and you've talked a lot in depth about a lot of fucking things, and I remember talking to you. And how different was it for you? Because you're both obviously, but how different was it for you being a black man on a reservation?
Yeah. that one's a little, that's a subject right there. I wrote a book.
Yeah.
It's called.
I tell everybody about that too when they're in the lift. Too.
For sure, I appreciate
that's a credential to me.
Yeah,
you
that's
know what I
you know
mean? I'm
that's
like,
Oh, absolutely.
That's what I try to tell them.
Yeah.
It's called "Am I Radical or Rational?" Right, and I touch on it a little bit. I tell a little bit of story about it where it's like I wasn't accepted for shit growing up. Like if I ran into somebody on accident or I stepped on somebody's shoe or something, the first word that come out of their mouth, what do you think it is? They wanted to call me all kinds of N words and all this shit all the time. And I actually just talked to a old classmate that I ain't talked to in years, and his whole thing was like, man, you was trying to fight you was fighting everybody. You was trying to. You remember when you tried to punk out so and so, and I'm like, man, I never wanted to fight anybody. Like I was always quiet. I didn't want to mess with nobody. The only time that anything ever popped off was somebody was calling me a racist name, and it happened anytime. And I'm like, damn, I'm enrolled, a Nez Perce tribal member. My mother's Nez Perce, but I just look the way that I do. I can't help that. And so anytime there was adults that would do it, and that's another thing. I told you I was a foul-mouthed, stinking-ass little res kid, right? And so when an adult would say something, call me a black boy or something, or you ain't native or all this, I was disrespectful as hell. So I'd be beefing with adults, kids, growing up the whole time. Yeah. And so it was crazy. I was by myself a lot, and that's where the writing came in. That's why I got into writing, really.
How many mixed kids are down there, you think?
There's a lot more now.
I'm saying now, yeah.
There's a lot more now. Then there was
not that many. My cousin Jaylene.
Mm-hmm.
I remember her. She still live out there?
Yeah, she's out there.
Yeah, her boy's not high school age, but her girl I think plays hoop. She's almost high school, I think.
And she's high school.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And my cousin
Kaya.
And I have an older brother and 2 older sisters, and they grew up there.
Rob Mays.
Mm-hmm. Did your older brother? Did he do music?
No.
Man, I'm trying to remember. It might have been you, dude. It was just a really long time ago. It was at a club, and I forgot. Like it was like Ace of Spades and Archduke.
Yeah, bro. How do you guys know Ace of Spades?
Yeah,
man?
that was me.
Were you with them? What did they call you back then?
Deekon Jones.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, bro.
So who that man? I swear to God, there
I
was a
was-
dude that looked like you that they called dude
shows with the
that they
no
called
boss.
Dude Dirty.
Yeah, that.
Dude,
Oh
dirty.
shit.
I
Was that
remember
you?
No, that was
dude.
my guy though.
Okay.
Rug.
I never
You
met-
remember Rug?
Oh yeah,
That's who it was.
That's
Damn.
crazy.
Yeah,
Because I remember
He has a baby with my cousin Steph.
yeah, he was.
I wasn't old enough to drink. I don't think you was old enough
Oh,
to
hell
drink.
no.
And I know he and we was at some sort of club. It was a hip hop show.
Yeah.
And my friends, like Q's older than me, and I think he's older than you.
Mm-hmm.
He was able to drink, and Boudreaux was able to drink, but I couldn't. I was, but you know what I'm saying. And there's outside, and I think he was outside. Some dude named Dude Dirty, and like Archduke and Archduke.
Oh, Spades,
man,
Was that at that
that
place
kid,
by
I,
Laser
man, I
Quest?
like that kid, but he's strange, man.
I knew him because he worked at Sam Goody in Moscow.
Bro.
He's a cool kid. We
So-
had him
I
out.
met him like twice.
I was
Who?
concerned about him.
Archduke.
Oh, really?
Archduke.
Oh,
But
okay.
Ace of Spades, he's
Yeah.
Ace of Spades worked at Sam Goody. Archduke
okay.
was a weird cat. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
fucking Overdose was doing photography and shit, and me and Chris rode down with him to Pullman, and he was doing some photo shit for Ace of Spades and stuff, and like we walk into some apartment, and
Hey,
he's
he
like,
has him
you're
clean.
passed out on the couch, and he's like, oh, there's Deekon Jones right there, and I was like, oh shit, no shit, I had heard of you before at the time, and I don't remember, it was like something. Were you on the Tyrant Productions?
Yeah,
mixtape?
Yeah, him and DeNovo. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah.
Was
That's
was
what's
Blue
up.
Dirty from Lapway?
He was from L.A. originally.
Okay.
But he lived in Lewiston, Idaho.
Okay, yeah, because he was like out there, and then I remember. I think you were just out there. You're probably. I think
That's
you're just
crazy,
wearing
bro.
basketball shorts.
Yeah, I
What,
was
did you just
probably
get done
15.
playing basketball.
Yeah, I was probably 15. Yeah, I was. We started hitting the club when I was 14, my freshman year.
Yeah,
What
you
was
it?
remember
Damn,
beach?
bro.
Yeah, that was the club. That was the club. Yeah.
yeah. So since
Who was-
14, we
God
walk
dang.
up there.
Who was
I-
performing there then? I think there's a big name.
Yeah, it was
performing
Mac
there.
Mall. I
Is
know.
that who it
I
was?
know what you
That
talk
show
about.
was dope,
Yeah.
bro. We got to meet Ray Love.
Yeah, Ray Love, Mac
Yeah.
Mall, all them
They
cats.
came by the crib and everything, dude. It was cool.
Wait, where was
'Cause
this
it's
at?
like
Pullman.
Pullman,
Oh
yeah.
shit.
There's some
Yeah, I was
dope ass
14.
shows in Pullman, man.
Riding
Yeah.
riding around in a van with those guys smoking. Dude, do you remember that pre-release of that Tupac CD that they had?
Oh,
And
yeah,
that
hell yeah,
Better
dude.
Days. It had the Chili Peppers sample
I-
of the Under the Bridge song.
I remember that whole.
When the CD came out, the sample wasn't there,
Yeah,
Rick.
that-
I was like, fuck, that was the best
I just
version
remember
of that song.
Mac Mall was
ever,
as cool
dude.
as shit. I remember I was
He
like, cause I'm
was.
like, man, I'm 14. I'm like, I remember listening to Mac
Dude.
Mall, bro.
Yeah.
And he was just
Crazy.
cool. He's like, hey, we got this new Pac over here. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Dude, we took that Suburban one time too. I think it was me and Rick. We went to Walmart because we had a show in Lewiston too. And we just jammed that CD. You know what I mean? Because it was a burnt disc and the album wasn't out yet. And that fucking Better Days, that song had the Under the Bridge sample, the guitar
I
sample.
remember you told me that when we were heading out to Yakima.
Dude, it was
Tell that
fucking
story.
sick.
Yeah?
And I bought that CD totally thinking that song was going to be on there. Like that. They must not have been able to clear it.
Yeah, that would have been a
Yeah.
expensive one to clear.
Yeah.
Right.
But man, that was a good time where we got to meet guys we grew up listening to and
That's so dope.
like not just shake hands, but interact with for the weekend, you know, and like smoke weed and Mac Mall was even buying Thiz pills and everything, bro. I was like, damn, he's on.
I told him, man, not one person ever asked my age.
Yeah, yeah.
I would have lied anyway, but I'm
Yeah.
14, I'm 6'2".
That's
I'm
how it
like,
goes when you're that. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
same thing. I'm 13, 6'3". You know what I mean? So fuck. Like people never questioned it.
Young,
It was
young
just-
Dre was there that weekend too.
Yeah,
dude.
for
He's
sure.
pretty dope, rapper.
But there was more.
Yeah.
There was more. Ray Love was dope as fuck. I mean, I'm like, okay.
yeah.
Y'all heard Ray Love's rock album?
No,
Oh, sir.
Yeah, you know who Ray Love is.
I'm gonna have to check that
Yeah,
out.
he got
Me
he,
too.
he got a rock album. It's some heavy like Rage Against the Machine shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at that.
Under the name Ray Love.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I just look up Ray Love's rock band. I
Guys.
think it's Ray Love though, but I mean, if you ever can you go back and listen to any of that Strictly Dope shit?
Did I?
Yeah, him and Pac. They were the first two. They were the
That
first.
from
Pac's first group was him and Ray Love.
Yeah, the Gotta Survive shit, right? Is that back then?
No, it was
Gotta
before that. Gotta
Survive
Survive.
was
Gotta
dope.
Survive was in the '90s. Like it was before that. Like
Oh,
then it's
shit.
like Pac had some like It was almost kind of.
I'm the
When did
Deacon.
Pac
I'm the
come out
baby of the
west?
table. If you haven't noticed, I'm the youngest. It's how they're always teaching me some shit.
Yeah, Ray
come
Love
out
and
to-
Pac, Strictly Dope. They got like old school shit on like YouTube. Like
Man.
I go back down rabbit holes and I'll be like listen to the old X-rated from like
No, that's the thing, man. You just saying that right then brings back like, why didn't I shout out Spice One like I wasn't like writing down Spice One lyrics too?
Right.
Through a chair. I fucking spiked.
I said, why the fuck you do that? He's like, I don't know. I like Spice One. I was like, he's like, were you blacked out or
Yeah, I
something?
blacked out.
No, but the other problem is sometimes you don't want to meet these cats, you know. But like every time I'm like, I want to meet these cats, but there's some stories
Sometimes
about
they're
Spice
assholes,
One,
yeah.
you know.
I met Too Short. He's a prick.
Yeah, I shook his hand. I told him too, you
No
know. I'm like,
disrespect to his music. You know,
I don't like to. I try not to fanboy, you know. And I'm like, nah, man. Then I see. I never asked for an autograph, you know. And you know, Tech comes here every year. Tech 9 every year, and that one of the years they came, they had Brother Lynch and all them other cats, and I was just like, hey Lynch, I have my copy of Season of Sickness here. Can you sign this? That's one cat that I had to ask for an autograph from. I'm like, you don't even. Brother Lynch, I was writing down Lynch lyrics growing up, you know, 9, 10 years old.
I remember you being on Tech 9
Oh,
when,
yeah.
when he was in.
Nobody
when he
was
on
fucking
Death
with him.
Row. He was like Rick was like, no, you got that Angelic album
Yeah.
too.
Oh
Like,
my
Rick
God,
was
that
like,
shit
no,
was
But
like,
but it
so
was
dope.
gridlocked. When I showed everybody
it was.
questions,
It was on that. on
Now
that
questions.
soundtrack.
Then you
Yeah.
go back. He had the first album I got from Tech was The Worst.
yeah, that one was dope too.
But what was I gonna say? Lynch fan, big Lynch fan. Loaded or Season of the Sickness?
Man, listen, I can't. I hate to say like popular opinions,
Right.
but Loaded is a classic, right?
It's
like
sonically great.
it's but I gotta play Season of the Sickness. If
Yeah.
I'm ever just like I'm gonna play Lynch, I'm gonna play Season of the Sickness, right? And then I'm gonna be like if I'm just trying to get some inspiration, I'm putting Loaded in no matter
Yeah.
what. You know,
What-
and I listen to Loaded, I'm like, damn.
Dude, like musically, because it's like it was like what DJ Quick brought to Southern California, but he brought it there because it had like it had the funky beats and they were jazzy and they were melodic, and it wasn't just like gritty hip hop beats, and it was smooth, and I was like, and his rapping at that time, like his rapping was on a
Not
like
just 8-bar loops.
Yeah.
You know what
yeah,
I
and
mean?
like in like '97, Lynch's rapping was on like another level. I was like, I don't know what happened. Like Season of Sickness, it was almost like shock value stuff. And then Loaded, I was like, his pen game is fucking ferocious right now. He's like he could kill a lot of like West Coast MCs, period, right now. And then like I listen to him now, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, hey man, but you remember when he dropped the like I See You in tracks? I see you creeping up through the house. Black Mac with the Mac 10.
Oh,
I
is-
got you sleeping on the couch. That shit right there, he brought me back. I was like, that's the first song I heard, and it was a single. It's called I See You when he signed to Strange Music.
Oh, okay, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then that was a single, and I was like, Lynch is back in 96, 95 right now. And then
Yeah.
the rest of it wasn't like that. Yeah. But-
I actually heard I heard X-Rated before I heard Lynch.
Yeah.
That's what got me into him, which is kind of weird because it seems like it'd be the other way around.
Yeah, I think I do too, actually.
I'd heard this fucking X-Rated dude, and
I think
he's.
The Exorcist was
I think
the first.
Yeah, it was
it
The
might have been the one.
Exorcist.
It was the one I heard. He was not in jail yet,
Okay, yeah.
and then the Exorcist is the Psychoactive.
Oh yeah, psychoactive. But
And then-
Exorcist is the one with the gun on his. Yeah,
Is that what it is?
They locked. Wait,
Or he was over
Yeah.
the phone pretty much.
Yeah, he was over the
Yeah.
phone.
Exorcist, he's like over a church almost.
something I remember.
Psychoactive is the first one because the gun on Psychoactive is
Got
what
him
they
locked
put
up.
him in jail for.
Really?
They said that's the same gun that murdered that person.
Oh, jeez.
And your lyrics were ironic. And Rated finally got out, and he finally said, I was there, I was involved and deserved the time, but I didn't kill nobody. And he did 26 years, didn't tell nobody. I'm like, oh, he's a solid motherfucker, man.
Damn.
Yeah.
See, Exorcist, he has the gun.
Does he?
Yeah, that's what's tripping out
Damn.
because he did You remember Want to Get High off of Exorcist, right?
Yeah, I keep telling everyone, I was like, that's
Yeah,
Looney
like
Coleone. And people are like,
Right.
no fucking way.
That's when I hear that song, like I do, I think of your book of CDs and shit.
Yeah.
You didn't smoke or anything, but it was cool to smoke in the car.
Yeah,
know what I mean?
for
So
sure,
It's
yeah.
like, all right, man.
I'm like, go ahead and hotbox it. That's fine. You know.
Yeah,
But
you got
that-
It was that Black Market CD.
Yep.
That song on there. Yeah.
you got it on
The
Psychoactive
Black
too.
and
Bless you,
logo.
Pete.
Oh yeah, that too.
Thanks, bro.
That was they're like I don't know if that's like a 38 or something. He's like it's the same 38. That's
Yeah.
what. And they didn't even find the gun. It was just a picture.
When they gave him like what he get? What he serve? 25?
They said 25 to life. He got on 26,
26. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I was
That
happy to
is
see
fucking-
him come
and he's
home.
still fucking spitting.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, he can fucking still barring out, man.
Yeah.
Is he working with Brain Sick right now?
I think
Rated?
he's working. He's doing his own thing.
He is. Okay, I just saw Dickles was doing some graphics for him.
Well, they're
Are they Blockstar?
yeah.
Yeah, Blockstar.
Dickles works with Lynch. He works with Rated. I think I don't know, man. I heard some X-rated stuff that I was super impressed. I was like, God damn, his lyrics are still on point. Because like back then, like when dudes are rapping like that, you're like, oh man. Then they finally just like, like Snoop Dogg, man. I was like, Snoop was one of my favorites, Doggy Style. And now you're just like, yeah.
Yeah.
You just get tired and boring and yeah.
Yeah, and it's still like Snoop is still. If you think rap, that's probably the first person you might even think. His name recognition is
Yeah.
unparalleled.
We
right?
talked
Right.
about in the last episode, like GOAT discussion about I think Crown said he might be the most popular rap star in the world of history.
Right.
Like, I saw a cool question come up on Facebook. Might be fun. Fucking, they talked about if you were stuck on an island for the rest of your life and you were able to pick 5 artists to listen to, but you got to have their entire catalog.
Oh,
Who would it be?
Number one is Pac for me. For me, it's got to be a Pac for me because when we're talking about a lot of the shit that he did, I still think Machiavelli when he dropped it's so you could nobody gave a fuck when he recorded that. Like, listen to the mix. Listen to, everything.
pretty sloppy
Listen to the
yeah.
mistakes he made in verses. He didn't give a fuck. He was just like, let's put this out. And then that one is one of the rare ones for me personally that I can front to back. I'll push play and I'll let that whole shit run out.
Those are the best albums.
Yeah.
Man, although Crazy is the best song on that album. Has to
Crazy
be.
as fuck. Yeah, I mean, I can't pick one. I can't pick one, but Crazy's up.
I can listen to it 10 times in a row, probably.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Like driving.
yeah. Not to mention if you're stranded on an island.
way home now, man.
Yeah, for sure. If you're stranded on an island, a pot catalog might get you through it the whole damn time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just so
that's
it
what I was
shows
try-
up.
That's what I was trying to think. I'm trying to think of someone with an
For sure.
extensive.
But if I could take, I don't know if groups is excluded.
Oh yeah, fucking group album.
hell
too.
no. Didn't he say any
yeah,
artist
well,
or band,
yeah.
right?
Well, I'm putting Bone Thugs on there then because you remember when Thug Mentality came out, Crazy Bone.
Green CD.
Can't find it
Double
nowhere. I
disc.
can't, not on iTunes, nothing. But that shit, I can front to back that one. But not to mention all of Bones' product is ridiculous. But I'm not shading anybody. But once they started doing all the Mo Thugs and all these extra, there was like I don't know how many, 50 of them, something like that.
I
got
hated,
confused.
I
was just
hated
like-
lazy solo albums.
I was like, when is Bone dropping though? They're
Right.
like, no, this is Bone, and I'm like,
no, it's not.
I'd never seen that person in my life. Busy dropped some classic solos.
He did.
Yeah.
He dropped some new shit. New shit recently. I was impressed.
Yeah.
He did like carbon monoxide.
Yeah,
he did another.
yeah, I heard
and
that.
I was impressed by
He's
both
still
of them.
killing it.
Yeah.
He's still a dope MC.
Yeah.
I love Crazy Bones fix tapes.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
really like those ones.
His best Thug
Be
Mentality is his
podcasting, too.
best.
Thug
shit, though.
Mentality
that
is the
was
best
good,
shit
yeah,
by
yeah.
far.
Yeah.
That one
Oh,
track.
I love that.
Well, I don't know what he
He
says.
got
was
pun
like,
on there.
Hit him with the AK-47 bucket. Heat
Yeah.
heavy. Is that what he says?
Yeah.
Hit him with the
I think it's
AK-47 bucket.
running.
Heat
Isn't
heavy.
it running with AK-47?
Is it running with the
Running with
AK-47
the
bucket? Heat
AK-47 bucket heat heaven. Yeah, for sure. But Dummy
What's up with y'all?
Dummy Dope though.
And that Night Riders song.
Night Riders,
Yeah.
I was checking for them forever. I'm like, y'all gotta do this more often, and I ain't
I remember
really hear
you,
shit
I
after.
remember you jamming that song pretty tough.
Yeah.
Too. Like, no, listen to this one
Every
man.
day.
Yeah,
Every day you playing this
He
shit.
said Pac. He said Bone.
Yeah,
Bone.
Hawk and Bone. I gotta put Quick in there because
Hell yeah.
shit
Hell yeah.
because it's quick.
Yeah, he's got a lot of dope CDs. Man.
Yeah, he does. So many. Man, I love Houston so much, man. UGK, A-Ball, MJG, but UGK has the greatest hits, so I might throw UGK in there because you got, I can listen to that shit all
throw
day.
UGK as a group, would that make you be able to have Bum B solo and Pimp C
I think
solo?
so.
No,
You
yeah,
get their whole
yeah.
catalog.
That's why I said Bone, because
Hell
not
yeah.
only do you get those
Hell yeah,
classics,
hell yeah,
but you
hell
get
yeah.
Thug
Yeah.
Mentality.
Because I'm like, man, Pimp C,
God's gift.
that Trill album was dope as fuck.
Yeah, it was,
Bro.
man.
Man.
It was an instant classic.
I mean, Pimp has so much good shit.
Who's
bro.
gonna be the
Yeah.
final one, Dick?
Wasn't that only 3?
That was 4.
Oh yeah, Pac, Bone, DJ Quick.
Oh, quick UGK. Okay.
Do I put Snoop or Dre in there?
Like, that's what I was wondering. If you put Dre in there, did you get all the shit he produced? Too?
No, I mean, it's got technically his catalog, but no.
I don't get Dre. Okay.
Like, you get like the Firm, and you get the M albums, and the Snoop albums, and the Exhibit album.
And NWA.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Shit,
It's
man.
like 30 albums.
Yeah, for sure. That 5th one.
Elusive number 5.
Let me think. Who raised me, man?
I mean, is it all hip hop?
No, it's just any
Oh,
artist.
not all hip hop.
Yeah, mine ain't finna be all hip hop.
Oh shit.
Did you hear the question, Kane?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Couldn't remember if you were
Kane's
back
finna saying, Tool.
And
Nickelback. 4 times Tool and Nickelback. There you go.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Shit, I don't know who to put in number 5, man.
It's tough.
Put X in there. I'm just. You know what? I'm gonna say we're gonna put Timberland in there.
Okay.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm
I
gonna.
remember you jamming that.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
Shit, you could get that, but Timberland, you can get the Chris Cornell album. You can
That
get
song with Twisted on that first song. You can't find that CD.
It's
anywhere
that was
either, bro.
the boom 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 boom.
Yeah.
boom, boom.
Yeah.
You can find it on YouTube. I was like trying to find it on Spotify. I'm like, why isn't that Tim album? Because I used to
it's
do
hard
that.
to find.
I love Timbaland and Magoo.
Yeah,
I think
that's
the
what I was
album's
gonna say.
called "Welcome to Our World" or
What did
something
he
like
say?
that.
When Up
Who am
Jump the
I? Hit him
Boogie
with the
came,
button.
when Up Jumps the Boogie dropped,
my
I was like,
God. So fucking
Twisted
dope.
was one of the
Yeah.
choppers that was audible that you could understand.
No.
Yeah.
Hit him with the concoction.
beat
With the
drop.
concoction.
We gon' show. And then there was a couple other just amazing songs on that
For
album
sure.
too. I mean,
and I was like, Magoo, did you mean Q-Tip? Did he spell that
his
wrong?
voice was crazy, bro.
Jen did so much dope shit though, man. He did them 2 genuine.
And he was native
Yo,
albums.
too.
exactly. Justin Timberlake, Genuine.
Or-
Hey, I got to
I
take.
think Magoo was native. I don't think Tim was.
Or did he mean Indian? Because he said I'm black with Indian.
Yeah,
Did
when he
mean-
said that, I just thought he was like me.
That
So I
was-
was
that
like,
was
I
Magoo.
like you.
Nah,
Right?
he's
that was-
Native
that was
American
Magoo. Yeah.
and black. Yeah.
And I got to take. All right, listen, I have this theory, right? Because one of my favorites was Genuine. I'm like, this shit is fire. He's going to be forever.
Yeah, that orange CD was super dope.
That is the orange CD, the one that had So Anxious
100%.
on it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that shit was hard.
That one, yeah.
Man, I knocked so much.
Yeah, bro. If you had that CD in your car, it was easy to bust a move. Bro.
But listen to this. You remember him and Tim fell out, right?
Okay.
And then Genuine just like, it was like, what the
It
fuck?
didn't start sounding.
Yeah,
that
I was
good
like, what the
anymore,
fuck?
yeah.
Right? But when I say Justin Timberlake became the new Genuine, go back. This is my theory. I go back and I listen to Justin Timberlake's albums when Tim did the whole shit.
It was Tim and the Neptunes, right?
Yes, yeah.
Fucking hard as fuck.
And so when I listen to that, I say, if you put Genuine's voice in there, the song wouldn't have been any different. It was just a different voice, but it was fucking Genuine was JT right there. And I
That's-
listened back to him and I'm like, damn, that was Genuine, right?
No way.
Yo, I had to get over
Grimy
it. I had to get
Rivers.
over it because I was like,
Grimy
man, I ain't finna listen to that shit. This is boy band shit. And this dude's like, nah, man, trust me, listen to this album. We're on the road and he played it, and I was like, this shit ain't bad at all. And then I found myself like, yo, look, let me get that. I'll put it in the Discman. I'm trying to jam that shit. So I listened to it more. I was like, man, this motherfucker shit is dope.
When I heard Cry Me a River, I was just like, oh, what?
Heard him in the other white dude, Robin Thicke around
Oh,
the time. I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
man, this motherfucker's tight too.
Yeah. It was like the Growing Pains dad's son? No way.
I'm not as much of a fan.
Oh, he ain't
I'm
got
not a
that
big
phone
fan
call.
of Robin
Hey,
Thicke's
John.
solo stuff.
Kane. I called him John.
I know
Hey,
we
yo,
never call him
Kane.
John.
The first time I called you John.
Is that
He
real?
was waiting to do that.
Is that a real peanut butter beer?
Yeah, you want one?
Hell yeah, I want one.
You want one, Paul?
No, thank you.
It's nitro, bro.
I'll try one.
That sounds awful.
P, you ready?
No, bro.
Belching beaver.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Hey, man, he's showing me some stuff, man. What do you use the cows for?
I gave
Health.
Yeah.
Yeah. No matter what's wrong with you, chew on some.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah, just chew on it.
chew on
I was
it,
just
yeah.
doing my due diligence on it and said some gal from your res, blah, blah, blah. She had that in Mountain Tea when they had COVID and said it was beneficial. And then they're like, well, the FDA doesn't say anything good. Well, of course the FDA doesn't say something because they're like, the FDA hasn't proved nothing about marijuana too, but people have proved that marijuana helps regress the growth of cancer and stuff. So I was just like wondering what your take is. Like, it's just general health.
I love history too, man. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
general health. If anything's wrong with you, you could chew it up a little bit, keep it in your cheek. It's gonna burn a little, but it's gonna take care of it.
Like the
Or
pine
put it
needle
in
looking
tea.
part, or like
The
all
root,
of it.
The root.
Okay.
Yeah. Or you put it
smells
in water.
good.
Yeah, or put it in water, put it on your fireplace, let that sucker cook up in the tea, sip it down. Your whole house will smell like it.
Yeah, it's better than Vapor Rub, man.
Yep.
You know what I
And
mean?
that's what our tribe was like
Oh,
all
that's
across
good.
the country. They're like the best is from the Nez Perce people.
Hey, back to aromas and stuff. You ever make your own pho stock?
Yeah.
I did that the other day, man. I was scared.
How'd it turn out? Yeah?
I was like round eyes in this bitch trying to make some pho stock, and I'm like, man, it turned out it was bomb, bro.
That was one thing Lewis and Clark said too, though, is when they encountered the Nez Perce, they were like, damn, they got all their teeth. You know what I mean? And
Yep.
then the other thing was, damn, there's a whole bunch of them who are 100 years old. Like, they
What?
didn't really see that.
Well, I don't know if it was like a legend or not, but they said Lewis,
Interesting.
I think they said he wounded his leg and he put it on his leg, and they said it's not known if it had any health benefit, but he put it on a wound, right, or as a wound dressing. And I'm like, oh shit, like maybe they're traveling up the Snake or something.
Yeah, they were almost dead when they got there.
Yeah, bro.
Right.
They showed up and they were almost dead.
Mm-hmm.
We gave them some dogs and shit because they looked like they needed some help, and then they ate them, and we're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
They ate the dogs.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Because we gave them some food too, I think.
And medicine.
Yeah,
And,
but yeah.
and that was the
they
thing.
went back to their camp and killed the dogs and ate them.
And when they were first encountered, everybody was like, what is this? We don't know what this is, right? And like, this shit is crazy. And they were like, we got to take him. We got to kill him, right? And they had York with him, the brother, the big black dude. And they were like, okay, this is crazy, but this is crazy.
Yeah.
Because he's a big dude. He saved Lewis and Clark's ass with tribe after tribe after tribe. Because they're like, no, these people are crazy.
Yo, do they loosely base that off the Huckleberry Finn shit?
I don't think so. I don't think
Okay.
so. But he would do like feats of strength and other things. He would pick up two women. He'd hold them up here on his shoulders and stuff. York, and they call him. They said he was a slave and African man, but he was a big old brother that would just come through and be like, "No, we're cool. Watch this," and do some like feats of strength. Or he picked up a lot of languages and stuff too. And
He had babies too.
yeah,
Bunch
one
of tribes,
of the things they said is that he had some with the Nez Perce too. And so they were like, okay, maybe they're cool. And the women were like, we don't have to kill him. We can help him. And so they nursed him back. And I'm always like, I wonder what would have happened.
If you just killed him?
I'm like, it would have been delayed, but I wonder what would have happened in that time. You know?
Because it was prophesized too before they showed up that these white people are gonna show up, and you can kill them or you can try and live with them, but they're not gonna stop showing up.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna keep coming and keep showing up.
So like
I mean,
like
Really?
Yeah.
before the colonizers came, how your little spot of land right now was obviously way fucking bigger.
Yeah.
So where do you guys have do you guys know
Yeah.
where it
There's
a
stretched
map.
to?
Oregon, Washington, Idaho.
You could Google it, bro.
Canada at
It
all?
shrank
No.
like 3
We
or 4
have
times.
Nez Perce in Canada now.
Yeah.
So it was like, was it just on like the river region? Was it just on the Snake?
No,
It's huge, bro.
Colombia?
You Google it.
huge.
It'll
Yeah,
show you the map, bro.
crazy
Now
huge.
it's a little fucking trapezoid shaped.
Yeah.
Fucking
What I
tiny
do,
piece
Nez
of
Perce or
fucking land.
Lapway?
Nez Perce.
Nez Perce Reservation,
Yeah,
historically or whatever, and it'll show you. Once they found gold in
original
Orofino,
boundaries.
Yeah, it's like this is what we get from the original Treaty of 1855. They're like, oh, there's gold. 1863, let's sign another one. And then 1877, it's like, oh, let's sign another one. And then that's what started the war. And
Well, because
And then-
even Spokane, dude, there's like none of this shit is. Dude, this is all that shit, bro. Like, and you go out there. I go out fish on the res out there, like Little Falls and stuff, and that's that little peach that they got out there, and it's like way pushed the fuck out there. But it was all like here, like even at the falls, like you read the history at the falls, and like they said the salmon runs were fucking crazy, and then they said
We
then-
used to all come here.
yeah. And they said then the white man came in and they needed fucking electricity, so they put this shit in and fucked everything up. And now they're trying to put salmon ladders back in and hope that they'll come back, which it might.
There's
but it
one
probably-
way they can come back.
yeah,
Take the dams down.
Yep.
exactly. That's why when people say, well, I'm like, take the fucking dam out.
Yeah.
I'm like, why does nobody say that as a solution ever in an interview on mainstream media?
Yeah, and I'm like, you know how much power they get from the dams? It's a fraction
Oh, really?
of everything
Yeah,
else. Yeah.
well, like lower granite and all that shit fucked shit up, and then Cooley, like I got a bunch of partners from that res out there. Like Cooley Dam, that thing's huge.
Well, that's one thing that Dorshak did to our reservation too, was shrink its size, bro. There was so many millions of acres. A lot of Indians lived there too, man. Once they built the dam, that shit was
Holy
underwater.
So
shit!
where are the salmon now? I mean, like what?
they're dying.
Oh, they're
like
dying.
literally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what is the dam doing to stop it from?
They can't get to where they need to go.
Yeah.
So is
Okay,
it the green spot or the brown?
The brown is original.
Jesus Christ! And the green is where it is now.
Let me
No,
see.
that
No,
trapezoid
that
inside the
tiny-
green.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
So Nez Perce came it intermingled with the Spokane.
Oh yeah, man. Like the language, they have a language called Chinook jargon, and that's what all of the tribes came when they
Yes.
came to trade. They all spoke some similar
Oh
language.
wow, that's
Yeah.
fucking amazing, dude.
So-
Oh.
That's like
That's how
cutting
common
tents.
we were.
So
I don't-
we can hunt and fish basically in that fucking.
I don't know.
in the gray
I don't
shit.
know if it was. I think it was my great grandfather. Adoptive great grandfather. The only like person that I knew. I don't know if it's his father or maybe before that. Claims up and down that he like wrote a book and he knew Chief Seattle. And I was like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah,
And
that-
that guy, I don't know. He died. He died in the 1900s sometime.
Yeah.
So it might have been his father.
A lot of those guys live to be old, man.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
sure.
Is the script I'm making is a short film out of the Yellow Wolf book, but in those interviews, even when Yellow Wolf was giving the interview, he wouldn't give the identity of a Nez Perce who killed another dude, even if it was in war. He wouldn't say that because he knew that Nez Perce was still alive, and that just because this guy's cool and interviewing him doesn't mean that somebody else can't read that piece of paper and go and get that Nez Perce and put him in jail for killing that man.
1,000%. Yeah.
Dude, and so it's like he didn't tell on his bros. No,
Yeah.
Nobody did. And the only instance otherwise was if he knew that Nez Perce had already passed. Then he would say he's gone.
Shit, y'all were
If
in
he did that. You know what I
Nevada, Utah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. You know, me.
mean?
I'm.
All over.
I'm
Oh, right.
thinking. The
Montana, Oregon, Washington.
Yeah, all
A
over.
little bit into Canada, and yeah, down into
A little
the-
corner in Nevada it shows, that original, brown outline.
Hey, speaking of, what's your thoughts on the rapper Yellow Wolf? Are they as strong as Katie Canes are?
I don't know. Does he love him?
No.
Oh yeah, I don't love him. It's like
I did not tell him anything about it.
Yeah, I don't- yeah, I don't-
Honest opinion.
Well, I
from
figured
the
because he
guy.
asked, does he love him?
when I figured out there was a rapper named Yellow Wolf, I was like, yo, a native done made it.
Yeah. Or he's related to us.
Yeah.
Or he's gonna pay homage.
Yeah, and I saw
What did
him.
he say he was? Cherokee?
I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, I don't know if he said. I don't even. Did he even claim it?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
He
he did.
did?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I heard the music, and I was like, all right, let's, maybe there's something else,
I think
then-
dude's dope, but I understand.
I never
Kane's
liked
like,
any project that he put out, and I
Yeah.
was just like, okay, that's fine. I
Kane
love
was like,
Double
he's
Time.
stealing, and I'm like, ah, yeah.
No, you
Dude,
you can't take a name for yourself and just claim a name, right?
Well, like
That's
Rick Ross, you can't do it.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
But think of that times 5.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what it is. And then of all people, you're gonna take Yellow Wolf.
Dude, yes.
I'm like, bro, that's like
He made up some bullshit. I
that's
read
like
an
a new
interview.
rapper coming out and saying, "Yeah, my name is Jesus."
Yeah, I was reading the things and I was like, I was talking to Kane about it, and he's like, well, he
says
and
it-
Kane's like, he claims skin, but
He answered that question 10 different ways.
yeah, he
bro.
did. He's like, he said he was on a vision quest, and then the elder gave him the name Yellow Wolf, and I'm like, I don't know, it sounds like he's full of shit.
Yeah, I've never heard of anybody else being named Yellow Wolf. I don't know if you have. I'm not
There's
saying that.
There's a
it's-
rock and roll band from Nespelem, but those guys are descended from
No,
that
for sure.
chief. You know what I mean? And they're Yellow Wolf. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And some people were like, "Oh, those guys are just trying to bite off the rapper's name," and I'm like, "Fuck no, they're not. That's
Descendants.
They're descendants.
Yeah.
Fuck
Oh,
the rapper.
fuck.
Yeah,
you know what
for
I mean?
real.
I'm like, the rapper, for me to be okay with him, needs to pay homage. He needs to be
Right.
asked
That's
that question
stupid
in an
as shit.
interview and answer it correctly.
People
Well,
are
I mean,
dumb.
Every time.
or
Yeah,
even
every
just
time.
or ask for information.
Yeah.
Have you
Right.
seen how uncultured motherfuckers are though? Like
Yeah.
like when
Yes. Yeah.
when Kanye was out there and John Lennon came out and people were on YouTube and they're dead ass serious.
Oh,
They
yeah.
said I don't know who this John Lennon is, but Kanye's gonna make him blow up. And I'm like,
Yeah.
just fucking end it.
Were they trolling or what?
No, they
Are
were fucking
serious?
serious.
No, it's just
Oh,
like the same
no.
people that learned about.
They said something about
Ozzy
Missy Elliott
Osbourne.
too.
Same thing. Yep.
Was it Missy Elliott came on with like
Ozzy on fucking Post Malone.
Yeah, that's what it was
Yeah.
for sure. Like I don't know who this
Jeez
Ozzy Osbourne is, but Post Malone just put him
I
on.
was saying at this point, I'm like looking at it and I'm like, at this point, are you just fucking with
Yeah, I
me?
know. I see. You're just trying to trigger me, huh?
Oh
Are you
man,
fucking with me right now?
pissing me off. Okay,
You got to creep.
I'm
I
right
don't want
here.
no scrubs.
You're about to have me right here.
That's one other thing too I want to say about Rick is he had this post on Facebook one time and I'm
Where y'all was going back and forth, and he was like Rick, and he was like John.
I'm not shelling it, right? Because sometimes he be typing a paragraph, right? And I'm like, I gotta read it. You know what I mean? I read the book. I'm gonna read what he's writing. But he just said something like, "Hey man, to be a person of color and to actually be aware is basically to be pissed off and angry all the time.
Yeah, that's
And so you have to find a way to smile and laugh.
for
You know
sure.
what I mean?
And
Like,
that's
and I was just like, fuck. Rick,
Hey, did you go to
hell
law
yeah, dude.
school, bro?
no man.
'Cause-
That was a dream of mine.
Well,
when
because
I
I'm
was a kid.
telling, I'm just, I'm gonna before you go on, I'm gonna say. This motherfucker is hard to argue with, and me and him,
I see you from
Me and
my
him have
perspective.
good
Shut
people.
people down.
well, yeah,
a
me
lot.
Cool.
too. Me and him have good debates, but some of my Caucasian friends that think they know what they're talking about get fucking owned.
Yeah,
Well,
you're
you
gonna
know,
get shut down.
And I'm like, I don't even want to go. I'm just like reading it,
Yeah.
and they're still typing paragraphs.
just gotta
I'm like,
read,
You
yeah.
motherfuckers is getting sunned right now.
Well, you know, on the book when you're browsing through, like you'll see a random post come, you're like, "Why is this?" And then you'll because it's one of your friends has commented on it, and a lot of it is from you, Mr. Deacon. And so I'll be like, and every time I see, I'm like, I got to see what he's saying. I got to see what he's attacking right now or defending right now. And every time you win me over, every time, and I learn.
Yeah,
I learn.
Very effective
Hey,
communication.
dude,
man.
like the
Yeah.
shit you say, like even the shit that I was unsure on. You told me, and I'm like, "Fuck, you making a lot of sense right now, mom." But like,
Yeah, man.
I sometimes feel like Deacon's like, who am I pissing off today? You ever do that?
That was the old movie. Man.
He's like, because they ain't gonna outwit me.
Yeah, because I feel like you had something out there that said like, okay, I took a little break and now I'm back.
yeah. I was off for a long time, man, and then I was
Yeah.
like, man, my first time coming back. I think what I said, I was telling myself, I'm like, I'm gonna come back and look at some Facebook stuff. I try to stay off it because
I've been
everything
off
is
it
negative, right?
by force.
They're feeding you division.
Yeah, and so I made a
100%.
post. I said, make saying I'm sorry.
I saw that.
Yeah, I said make
Normal.
Make saying I'm sorry normal. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with this. This is
Somebody will find
Yeah.
something wrong with it.
It was your post?
Yeah, my post. I said make saying I'm sorry normal, right? Because I'm always saying we make jokes like the black community has said, tell me how your black mother said I'm sorry, and people would do all those things like get in here, I got some ice cream from the store, or they're like, oh, hey, I'm gonna take you down to the store right now, you can pick something out, that's how our parents said I'm sorry, right?
Yeah.
They never said, yo, I'm sorry, I was out of line.
Right.
So I'm saying make that normal because I try to parent my kids out of a healthy space that we'd be like, get the fuck out of the kitchen.
It's hard, man.
No, it is for sure.
It's hard because I like discipline my son, and even like something I feel bad about, like because he's a big boy now, and I was like, I didn't like the way he's looking at me. He was like, he looked at my feet, and then he looked me up, and I was like, oh, you're trying to take a run at the title?
I got punched in the chest.
Yeah,
I got punched in
and
the chest.
he's bigger than me this way now, and I'm like, dude, you don't have a chance. I'm gonna destroy you.
Yeah.
And he's like, wait, you think everything's like? And I was like, and then they just call me out, and they're like, do you know why you guys like butt heads? Because y'all are exactly alike. Y'all make the same faces, same mannerism. They're like, he's the black you, and you guys just. And I'm like, come here, and I'm like talking to him, and I don't know how to apologize to people, that kind of stuff. I'm just
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, if we make that normal, we figure that out, we can effectively communicate with people in a way that we haven't before. And the comments that I got was like, oh, that's weak. Saying I'm sorry is weak and all. And I'm like, bro, chill. I give a chance because I'm like, I'm just saying, saying I'm sorry normal, right?
The other one was
I'm not big on I love you either,
make
man.
being nice normal.
Yeah, I said make being nice normal.
I'm not big on
man.
big on the I love you like kind of stuff.
Yeah, and
either.
that's a big one.
I say
for
sometimes
me.
like I love y'all, like it's like in passing, but like even talking to my son, I was like, no man, I want to be there because I freaking love you, man. And it's like,
the,
and it is
the
like
hug on Step Brothers. For
yeah, it is just, and I try to push it out, and he's like that too, because like
you can change that. That's what I'm saying.
he's lovey with his mother, and it's like he thinks like dude showing affection is weak or gay.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dude, I'm gonna kiss you on your forehead in front of everybody, and me doing that because my mom wasn't affectionate, my dad was, but he was also a fucking asshole, so I was fucking conflicted.
Yeah,
up.
for sure.
So it's hard, like affection, saying you're sorry, like saying you're sorry and admitting you're wrong is really fucking hard too.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why I'm saying.
But that's
grab
why
the
it's
book.
important. That's why it's important because
It
it's
is.
hard.
When
Yeah,
someone
man.
says that to me, I realize how huge it is as
Yeah.
a human, and
I'm not
And
used.
And it
I'm not
usually
used to it.
triggers somebody to think, do I need to be sorry about something too?
Yeah.
When you gotta hit
Do I
someone and
have
say,
something?
hey man, I fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, "Oh shit!" But when you get it how it feels better. Like, oh, you could take it how you want it.
Right.
You can not talk to me talk to me ever again. But me as a man trying to grow, I have to say this, and you can take it for what you want, and we can build on that, or you can tell me to fuck myself. But
Right.
I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
gotta
what
get
I
this.
too in the book that I wrote.
Yeah.
I talk about it's mainly about decolonizing. That's what I talk about. So it's written for. I'm doing a series of books, and this first one is talking about a lot of the African side of my heritage. Right, like this is how we need to decolonize, and here's some of the things that I think we should do collectively to help each other. And I'm doing one for the indigenous side next. Right, and what I'm doing is I'm saying you got to break cycles to make the culture shift, right? Because I don't blame my parents for not being like, oh, I love you so much, come give me, they never, that's not what we had, it wasn't huggy and I love you.
did you get both culturally though?
Yeah.
Both sides.
Uh-huh.
Can I pick your brain after this about publishing ideas? Because I just wrote a children's book and I'm trying to figure out publishing options.
For sure,
All
yeah,
right, cool.
yeah. And And so, I mean, my mother and my father were born in 1951, right? And so on the res in 1951, we're talking about stealing Native kids and sending them to boarding schools, right? That's the era of kill the Indian, save the man, right? So
I've
cut
heard
your
that.
hair,
Yep.
beat you if you speak your native language until you just speak English, all this. A lot of the...
recite this book.
And the
Fuck that
Jesuits'
shit,
sexual assaults on all of the indigenous
Your pops
kids.
was military, right?
No, my pops wasn't. He
Nope.
was and so this is my mom's side, right? So she grew up on the in Lapway in the 50s, right? So all this is happening. And it's like how do me growing up and I've always been into history and trying to find ways to make things better, right? So how do I blame my mom for not knowing how to do all this? She grew up in that era, right? And my father, he's from DC, and he had 4 brothers, so there was 5 of them, and his mother was real mean and abusive, and she gave them all up for adoption, right? And so there's nobody that's going to take 5 black boys in the 1950s.
That's what you meant, because I remember another conversation, you saying that you didn't really know your black side.
Yeah, and that's what it is. And so my dad was the oldest, and so he took. Somebody said, "Well, we'll take Jerome, and we'll take Bobby, but we can't take Irving, Nathaniel, or Ricky." I'm named after my uncle, and so my dad was like, "Nope." Grab them all at night, and they took off running. So they just lived in the streets of DC in the 50s.
Damn.
As black boys, right? And so I'm like, that's what I come from. So what do I tell him? Do I say, man, you didn't love me? Nah, I understand what you went through, bruh. So I gotta let some of that stuff go, you know? And I'm like, okay, what I can do is break that cycle. My sons, I have 2 sons, 15 and 9. I love you until you tell me to get away from you. You know, I kiss him on the cheek, the forehead, I hug him. Oh, I love you so much. Or I discipline one too much, and I'm like, I'll come back to him and be like, bruh, I went overboard there. I got real mad. I shouldn't have come at you like that. I'm sorry. And my 9-year-old's like, okay.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and so it's like, it's crazy because
Big shit, man.
yeah, because now I was downstairs making music in the studio. My 9-year-old opens the door, runs down the stairs, and I'm like, "Oh, what do you need?" He kissed me on the cheek and ran back upstairs.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I'm doing something." You know, that's breaking the cycle.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm trying to tell everybody else. You can break the cycle in your family, and that cycle doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, that's why it takes one person to realize that.
Yo, how do we normalize males showing affection to other males without people being all weird about it?
You don't,
Bro,
you
or
don't
even
worry
just
about other
talking,
people.
you
Just
know,
do
or
it.
opening up, you know. I mean,
I actually
Oh shit! You
talked
start a
about that
podcast.
today.
Yeah.
I told him that's one muscle I haven't flexed yet because I still have my faults, right? And I'm like, because somebody said, it was the article and said, men need to flex the muscle of telling their friends I love you.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm just like, damn, why can't I do
Shit's
that?
hard,
It
man.
is
Why
hard.
can't I do
It's really
that?
hard.
You know, and I can't explain it, but I'm not gonna beat myself up about it. And I'm like, my friends know, like, you need something, I got you. And you need anything, I got you. Right? It's cool. You need something, I got you.
Quarter inch cable for the top.
Yeah, that's right.
How much what? I was like, no way, really?
Try to
You
pay
just
me.
have it.
Try to pay me. Nah,
Yeah.
take it,
I was
bro.
like,
You
man,
have,
thanks, man.
you know. But I'm like that. But I still ain't to that point where I'm like, all right, man, I love you. You know, I
Fucking love you, Rick.
well,
I got some close friends that'll like, say it quite often or text it like,
And
and
that's
I'll always
dope.
hesitate. I'm like, love ya too. I'm
Yeah.
like, how is it so hard just to say you? Like just to change a letter or two. Like, why is it
100%.
so hard?
I've like gotten like arguments, but I mean, the dude's like my brother. I grew up with him. We lived together. His mother took me in, and we got in like an argument over something. And he was drunk. He pounded his hands on the table, and he's like, and I was like, well, I was like, you ain't gonna talk to me like that. What's up, bro? We can go out in the backyard, whatever, and we can box it out or whatever. and the shit calmed down, and I like kind of apologized to him and freaking kissed him on the forehead, and he's like, "Oh man, you guys is gay as hell," and I'm like, "Man,
Yeah.
fuck you, man."
Yeah. See, with that shit, what I do is I'm just me, right? And
Yeah.
I'll tell somebody what I notice worked best in my situation is if I do something like I'll dap up my boy and be like, "Man, you know I got you, right?" And somebody else will be like, "Oh, you gay," and I'm like, if that's gay to you, then I'm sorry for you, but I ain't gonna change your mind. And they're just like, "Oh, all right."
I think that's what
You're just looking for a reaction.
Yeah,
and
that's
shit.
all they
It's
want.
yeah,
That's
that
all
had
they
to
want.
be what fucked it up. The got I don't want to say
and we react poorly to that.
when they say
because
toxic
it's
masculinity or
insecurities,
some
bro.
shit,
Right.
because being masculine's fucking great. Be a fucking man. Like
Right.
like they're like, "Oh, dude, this toxic masculinity." Shut the fuck up with that shit. But I'm saying maybe some of that is a little fucked up. Like you could be like, "Oh man, I love you, bro." Like because there's been times where if you didn't say, you know, someone
Well,
says
people
it,
say
and-
be
and-
a man. I can't think of something less manly than
Yeah.
doing something out of your normal because somebody else is influencing.
Yeah.
until
Right, exactly.
until they die, and then you think about it. I've lost a lot of people.
Then
that-
you're like, "Oh, I love him."
Yeah.
And that's one thing I say about Rick and I too is we've been to a lot of funerals of people we grew up with just based on the size of the town that we grew up in. You know what I mean?
Stupid.
Yeah, and it is, man. You always think about that last time you saw that person.
Yeah.
And sometimes it wasn't good.
Yeah.
And you don't get to make it
I-
cool.
I-
And
I drove-
unfortunately,
I drove past-
unfortunately, it was bad a lot more than it was good the last time that I saw
Look,
them.
man, I drove past a friend of mine that we grew up together. But he wasn't doing good. He was out fucking with the drug shit and this, that, and the other thing. And me and 3 other dudes, we all knew him. We all grew up together. We seen him at the gas station. He's like, "Man, he's fucked up. Let's keep pushing." So we kept going. We went to the homie's house. We had some drinks, and I went home. And there were cops. But we lived close by, but we didn't see each other a lot because he was doing whatever the fuck he was doing. And there were cops blocking Crestline and Empire, and I'm like, "What the fuck happened?" I didn't think nothing of it. I got home, and someone called me and says, "You go down the street and check on so and so. I think he got shot." Well, I drove down there, and I couldn't get through in my car, so I parked my car in Crestline, started walking through. Cops said I couldn't go through, and I was like, "Man, I just gotta see something real quick. It's at the house." There, I was like, "So what happened?" They're like, "Dude who lived here got smoked in his front yard." And then I was like, "Should I have stopped, even though he's doing bad?" You know what I mean?
It makes you think.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And
Last time I seen him the night that he died.
and that's where a lot of the shit that I was talking about, because I mean, this is one thing that I haven't told a lot of people. I didn't even write about it much. Was my mother? She was. I talked about it. She's one of 13 kids. Right. Wow. My grandparents had 13 kids. They had, and I'd say anytime that she.
And your mom's Nimiku, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And anytime she starts telling a story, I can't say shit, right? Because she's like, "I grew up in a 1-bedroom shack with 15 people in the house," and I'm like, "Damn, that's true."
You can't complain
I
about
can't.
shit.
Yeah, there's nothing I can complain about, right? I'm like, "Damn, I gotta shut the fuck. Nobody can shut me the fuck up like that."
No, it's
you know?
real. Every time I try to complain about it, and my grandfather hears it, he just goes.
When he said he walked through snow barefooted up hills.
Uphill both ways.
Yeah.
that shit. But my mom, that's how she came up. So what happened is, her kids were never gonna go through that, right? Like never. So she got a nice job.
You got 2 siblings?
I got 2 sisters and a brother, 3, and so she got a nice job, and she was working at the mill. So she's in lumber. She's 5'10", 5'11", strong as hell.
Your sister I know is tall as hell.
Her too, yeah. And my brother's 6'6". He's taller than me, and so she did that, and she would work 12 to 16 hours a day. Like she'd do 2 weeks day shift, 2 weeks night, right? And so she's like, "My kids ain't never gonna struggle." I had all the J's. I had Nike fits. I had everybody's like, "Oh, he's a spoiled ass kid," and I'm like, "Damn, man, I'm going to your house for dinner though, because mom's ain't home." My pops, when he ended up going back to DC with my sister for a little while, and so it was my mom. She wouldn't get off of work until 11:30 at night, and I'm like 5, 6 years old, and my brother and my sister's supposed to be watching me, but they're teenagers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I'm just running the street the whole time doing whatever. And I'm like,
Ricky from up the street.
and everybody's like, yo, he got the J's though. He's lucky. He's spoiled. I'm just like, man, you got your parents at the crib having dinner.
Dude,
Right.
I tell this.
I
to my
want some
bros,
dinner.
too. I tell them that I was spoiled because I had both parents at home, and even at 4:30 after work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even if they were arguing and shit, it's like, nah, they were there. A bunch of kids didn't have that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That is
So-
real. That is real shit though. Like material shit doesn't buy like relationship.
Yeah, at all. And then I was upset about it, right? Like sometimes she get laid off and I was like, oh, cool. You know, cool. We ain't gonna have a phone or something like the bills are gonna happen like that, but she's gonna be at the house. You know. But and then growing up, I'm like, how do I fault her for working so hard to not put me in the position she was in when she was growing up? Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I understand it. And so I'm gonna change that for my kids, right? I'm gonna work, I'm gonna put food on the table, but I'm gonna be at the house too. So they're gonna be like, "Oh, Dad's always here, man."
When you finna leave?
Yeah. It's like, damn, man, he's always around this one. But yeah, so those are the intentional things that I'm trying to tell people. We can do this for free, and we ain't got to work ourselves to death to try to provide in a way that doesn't mean shit in the long run.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
Dude, good words, man.
You dead and gone, but you bought your son some J's once.
Yeah,
you know?
fuck that.
He's not. Yeah, dude,
You know?
he doesn't remember that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know a lady that worked herself to death. More or less, like she had everything she needed, and the kids after she passed away, they got a nice little check. But I think money was everything to her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then she's super prideful, and she had MS. And I saw her; she wouldn't get up from her chair. And finally one day, it's like, "What? You been to a doctor?" She went to a doctor. She had MS, and she's kind of a big woman. When she passed away, she's like 90 pounds. MS killer. She's too proud to go take care of it. I'm not going to say who it is. She's very, very close to me though. So she kind of like worked herself to death. Like having things was a lot more important than other shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
I try to express that to all my bros too. It's like, man, money's not the most important thing, man.
Right.
Time is.
Yeah.
You know what
It's
I mean?
fun.
Except when it
It's,
comes to
you
bringing them $10 tomorrow, motherfucker.
That was the best.
That was a good line.
Oh,
Kane said, "Money's not real." He said,
he
"Hey,"
got you pretty good.
He said, "Hey, bring them 10 ones for them fights tomorrow." I said, "Money ain't real, Kane. I'm bringing IOUs and we doing push-ups." we used to bet push-ups on fights though, for real. I was like, "Hey, you got 20 push-ups on this one?"
Yeah, for sure. We always do it. We do it on games, everything.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
We'll bring 10s tomorrow though, or 10 ones.
I always love that Selly line. Make a casino up out your home and shit.
Some fry bread and shit tomorrow.
Man, I forgot Sally Sell too.
Yeah, man.
Dude,
I was just bumping Killer Cali the other
that shit
day,
is
bro.
classic.
The G files.
Yeah, the G-Files?
G-Files.
Yo, G-Files was something different. I'm like, damn.
Dude, I'm.
Hey man, you make your own dough? You
you
do
mean?
fry bread and shit?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Nice.
I
We
gotta-
finna have some tomorrow. Well, I'm gonna have the kids cook some. My daughter knows how to cook it. I'm gonna put it together.
Oh.
I got a family recipe, man. My cousin Aretha, she passed. You remember? And
it's Tui sister.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
man.
my
R.I.P.
grandma,
sister.
my grandma was the cook, man. Like, and here's one thing I always tell people: I was born in '85, right? And so coming up in the '90s on the res was like the '50s or '60s in the rest of the country.
Yeah,
right.
We're way behind.
Yeah, like-
And everyone on the res love Bone Thug, so I don't fault you there.
Oh,
a lot of people.
that's nationwide.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah,
so-
he's just telling me. He's like, all they
No, 'cause
this
that's
fool. He's
how
like,
it
he on
was
the res. He's like, all they did was listen to Bone.
Yeah. I was like, they
crack
love
didn't
some Bone Thugs.
Crack didn't really hit our res till like 2000.
yeah,
No
for real.
shit.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
And it's like, but my
And then
grandmother.
Math is like 2010. Math and pills. You know what I mean? Like way late.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of youthful in the crack era in Spokane before there was meth, and I like see people in meth now, and I'm like, are there crackheads around, like the old school ones, like the ones that you could semi trust? Like, hey, I'm gonna get this fool some dope. He might wash the car, but he gonna bring me my money because he works.
Yeah.
He like
got a fucking
he
job.
works. He
He's
gets
not a
off and
complete-
smokes crack.
Yeah.
For sure.
There was a lot of people like that, bro.
Back to your
my
story.
bad,
We
didn't
jumped
interrupt.
off.
Yeah, my bad.
I forgot
You
what
got
I-
the recipe from.
You was talking about
your grandma.
Oh yeah,
grandma cooking.
Yeah,
Resin,
she was
like
an
growing up
old
in the
school grandma, man. Like, my mom would take me there when she was going to work sometimes, and I'd get there, and my grandmother would be like, I'd be crying and shit. I'm like, oh, leaving me again, all this shit. And I get there, and she'd be like, you want to check out a movie? I'm like, yeah, I'll check out a movie. She had all the Disney movies, right? But she also
But they're
had
the
a
ones in the
book.
plastic cases.
Yes.
Yeah, them
yes.
Disney's in the plastic cases just hit different than the.
Yeah, there was something about it. But she had also had a book where you had to check it out.
Oh
I had a
shit!
friend's mom who did that shit. Yeah.
So you don't bring this shit back.
Yeah, she was like me. I always say, man, growing up that way, because when I watch movies and shit from the 50s and 60s, I'm like, that's my grandma. She's not a grandma now that got the OnlyFans. So it's like she would take care of everything.
Can you say that again?
That's our era, grandma.
Oh, wow.
Ain't nothing wrong with the OnlyFans.
No, but that was
Nothing wrong
good.
with it.
That was
I bet
good.
it's a trip when you saw the picture. You got the old classy lady from World War II. They said this is my grandma, and they said they gonna get a picture of your grandma and some chick like poking her booty out. This is grandma from like 2000 or something.
Oh yeah.
That shit's all gonna be normal then, though. By
The
then,
kid, the bathroom sink booty picture.
They're gonna be doing gnarlier shit in 2060.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're gonna be like,
Is that my
bathroom sink? How old is this picture?
Is that my grandma's butthole?
Oh shit.
Yeah. I remember seeing a show on MTV where it was like a porn star mom. Her kids were like teenagers and shit. And it was on MTV. It was
MTV.
weird.
Really?
Was it like
Yeah.
that real life story or whatever they were doing?
Yeah.
Hey, y'all know who Maya
What?
Khalifa is?
Yeah.
Mia Khalifa. Yeah.
Mia Khalifa.
He
Maya
got the
Khalifa?
correct
Yeah.
pronunciation.
It's Mia. It's Mia. It's
Yeah.
I am cultured. I am cultured.
you said it's Mia, not Maya.
Yeah.
I don't even think Mia or Maya's a real name.
Probably not.
Fuck you.
Mia from fucking Fast and Furious,
No, but
bro.
she
I'm just fucking
she.
with you, man.
I know. But hey, she I don't know. She changed her shit up. Like she's in hella fucking porns. She can't fuck though. But she's in hella porns, and they're like, yo. Someone said it to her on Twitter. They said, "Yeah, your porn flicks suck," and she's like, "It's kind of funny because I didn't give consent to any of these people to put my shit out. Like she wants it off. Like I think she said grew up poor self esteem, this, that, and the other things. So she's like, I'm gonna fuck for money." And she ain't with that shit no more, but people are still, jacking off to her stuff. And she's like, I want my shit gone. I don't consent to it. It's like, she said it was more or less like rape. She didn't consent to her shit being out there no more.
Well, she had to have shown her ID and signed the piece of paper.
Well, I'm sure she signed a piece of paper, but you remember Dave Chappelle signed a piece of paper and he said, if you guys don't pay me my money, take my shit off Netflix. And Netflix respected him enough and said, we're taking it off.
Well, that's
And
Dave Chappelle, and that's
yeah.
Maya.
apparently Dave got paid because all Dave shit's
No,
back
he got
on
paid.
Netflix.
He got paid for sure.
I think I think their celeb
that-
status is a little different.
It's
Yeah.
interesting though.
But don't play with me. Like, hey, man, that's my fucking shit.
Yeah.
Well, because what if she becomes a regular actor, and not even through Hollywood, maybe like Hulu or Netflix or Amazon signs her, and she fucks shit up, and
she
gets the
should.
most views. Maybe she can swing that kind of power in a year or two. You know what I mean? And be like, nah, I want that other bullshit taken down. Otherwise, I got lawyers now. You know what I mean?
Right.
And my lawyers are better than yours.
I don't know how those
Well, you
contracts work.
get the right lawyer.
I don't
Yeah.
either, because if you signed it, bro,
I bet
you
it-
had your ID and you're on fucking camera. Doing
I bet it expires eventually.
That I mean, because
And then
for
she-
me, I would be like, man, if somebody told me they wanted this shit down, I'd take it down. you
Yeah,
know,
and
but-
she was on, and she was on. I follow on Twitter. She seems interesting, and she's fully clothed now, so it's nothing weird, you know. But like, she's like, in some of these movies I was doing, I wasn't old enough to have sex on.
What?
Damn.
yeah, y'all better take
Yeah, that should
shit down.
kill it a lot for people anyway. Just be like, I don't even want to risk it.
I don't know. Do I look at it after she's 18? I don't know what I'm looking at
Yeah,
here.
you better just take that shit
Or
down.
maybe she said that just to make people question.
Maybe. I mean, I'd feel bad about
That'd
it.
be smart.
I didn't like. I've like looked her up before, and I was like, this doesn't do nothing for me. She's good looking. It's just doesn't do it for me. It's like the Kim K. Ray J tape. It don't do nothing for me.
What's
but
that? I don't know what that is.
You don't know what that is? So the speaking of Amazon, man, are y'all excited to watch Coming to America 2 or what?
I almost watched it before the show today, but I thought
No,
I should
don't.
probably
You better
really
not.
sit down.
Because I'm gonna go when I get done here. I think that's what I'm gonna go do.
Yeah.
You checked it
gotta
out yet?
watch
I have to watch.
I gotta watch it.
It took too long.
I
though.
wish
It's not
I didn't
gonna be
see
the
all that
first-
negative feedback about it already.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna
I
watch
know.
it with an open
People
mind.
are fucking cynical.
I didn't see any
assholes.
feedback.
Oh, you didn't?
It's
Good.
all great.
I don't. Thank you. I don't pay attention to the fucking.
People are
interwebs
cynical
like that, bro.
assholes.
I watched that movie. TJ told me to watch Bliss, and I watched it,
You did?
and it was good.
Yeah.
I didn't understand. I missed the part where he was crushing the pills and sniffing them in the beginning. Otherwise, I would have had more context for the film because I did think it was really simulation, sci-fi based. But
Yeah. It was
you
a
see
trip.
that in the beginning. Yeah, it's a pretty good movie. That Owen Wilson guy. Like,
I saw people hate on the Joker
and
though.
Salma Hayek is in
fuck
there,
them.
That movie was classic.
and she
Fuck
Salma
them.
Hayek looks pretty good.
Bro, I've
Yeah,
still
see,
never seen
is
the
there
Joker.
anybody in this room? Well, you ain't seen it. Did you watch the Joker movie?
You haven't seen it?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
jackass, bro.
See,
I went to the theaters 4 times.
I
to
went
watch that
with
movie.
I went with him one time and watched. Did I go with you and watch it?
Everybody went.
So
probably.
did you
I went
watch
4
the
times.
movie?
I didn't go with you.
And I heard people say
We'll go next time.
that movie is just sick and it. And I was like, no, they're talking about mental health, and I was like, it displays. It displays
So is our
mental
world
health.
right now. That's the
Perfectly.
point. Like,
De Niro in there even. You know what I mean? I was like,
That
man,
movie was dope.
Yeah, it was good, man.
anybody else watch that?
And the people hate on all
Possessor?
kinds of movies.
Shaolin told me to check out Possessor. That shit was a fucking trip.
I don't
Yeah.
think I caught that one.
I watched
Hulu.
Django in theaters like 3 times, and I went in there and I was drinking.
You saw that 3 times at theaters?
I was drinking beers and
You're always drinking beers in the theater.
I am. Oh, you don't want to. You know, I don't pay for shit to go in the movie theaters, man. And I don't want to get up. And the movie's like 3 hours long. It was like fucking
Like
an
Granddad.
intense like battle scene. I was like,
The
man,
granddad from the Boondocks.
I gotta piss so bad. I should have just went in the can, but I got up and came back, and I was like, man, well, I missed parts, so I got to come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I don't know. That's a great Tarantino movie. I know you don't
Such a
like
good
Tarantino
film.
so much.
I need to try Django at least again because I fell asleep the first time I watched it.
It's long. I watched it. I think on Christmas
It's
Day.
long. It gets really gangster too.
Did he
Oh,
do
good one.
From Dusk Till Dawn? Was
Yep,
that him?
yep.
Dude, that's a fucking good. You ever
I
seen
thought-
that? From
Classic.
Dusk Till Dawn?
Are you sure? I thought that was
That was Tarantino.
It was. It wasn't Rodriguez.
Nope.
No.
Hey, Spike Lee was so mad at Tarantino for Django.
Oh, I bet. I mean, I can see it, but I'm just like,
Well, because Tarantino's explanation was because he's like, I'm from Inglewood, and like even Pulp Fiction, he's like, he just said they just the black folks in the movie they say the N word a million times, like Quentin Tarantino's trying to be an honorary black man. He's like, I'm from Inglewood, and that's how the black people I mingle with speak to each other.
His dialogue is authentic.
So he said, so I'm telling the truth.
Yeah.
He's like, Spike Lee doesn't want me to tell the truth, and I think Spike Lee was mad because I think his last movie bombed. Although what's that last movie he did with
Judas and the Black Messiah.
No,
Nah.
the twins did that.
the one before that?
What did he have something to do with
Nicolas
it?
saying that? Oh no, it was a long time.
It was Chadwick's last movie. Chadwick and
the Bridges. That did he do that?
Ving, is it Ving Rhames? I think it's Chadwick. It's not Ving Rhames. Yeah, Chadwick, and I think Ving Rhames is Delroy Lindo. Delroy Lindo, Chadwick, and they're Vietnam veterans. Oh my God, it's gonna fucking kill me.
It's not. I know what you're talking about.
I don't know. shit
It's on
about
Netflix.
movies.
Oh, I was
It
thinking
is.
something else.
Something soldier, I think.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one.
I didn't think it was that great.
I loved it.
God, what is this? shit called?
Delroy played a soldier with PTSD, and I don't know, that really kind of spoke to me.
Yeah, I think I
I'll-
gave that like
I'll
a
find
3
out.
out of 5.
3 out of 5. Not bad. The Five Bloods.
Yeah,
that was it.
So the one before that, I think that him and Tarantino were fighting over was Chirac, maybe.
I like Jamie Foxx too in in that Django movie.
Jamie Foxx is underrated. I heard that he was doing Mike Tyson role.
I heard a recent
What?
update about that.
That
He's
would-
been working on
that'd
that
be
for a
fire.
long
Oh, that
time.
would be so good.
I bet he murders it.
Yeah, he did. He did like.
I believe Will Smith was Ali. I believed
You
him.
guys
Yeah,
remember
he did a great
the
job.
Michael Jai White one though, right? Tyson, you remember that movie?
I-
HBO put it
Tyson
up.
I've
said
seen it,
Tyson
but-
said he hated it and it wasn't authentic. He likes Michael Jai White and it wasn't authentic at all.
I never even heard of that shit.
It was on
Yeah, me
HBO.
either.
Look it up, man. It's called Tyson.
was on
Michael Jai
HBO?
White. Yeah,
And I think they
HBO
put Jai
produced
White
it.
in it because Jai White's really knows how to fight.
And
He's a
short.
badass.
Well, and he really knows how to
Stumpy,
fucking squab
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Like
I
Jai
don't know
White
that
got
he's
game,
short,
bro.
man.
Yeah, he be
Jai White was teaching like dudes like MMA dudes how to fucking kick and
I
shit.
thought he was
he
tall.
was just sparring John Jones.
Yeah. Him and Jai White, they're like, why didn't you guys? Because they're like super upset that Jai White and Jones didn't film it, and he's like, we're martial artists, it's like we do
That's
it.
not why.
We do it as like brotherhood and kinship, not for like some fame shits. It's like to film it to get a couple views. They're like, no, it was private.
Yeah,
And I was like, man,
Well,
I respect the
that's
shit
when you
out
know
of that.
Michael Jai White's actually involved in that community of MMA.
And he's a real martial artist.
Oh yeah.
Because most celebrities would be like, yeah,
We're gonna film it for some clout.
yeah, for sure.
Like McGregor filming the him fucking
With
up.
Pauly?
guy.
What boxer? Pauly Malignaggi. He fucked him up though, but he didn't film the whole thing. Just where I was like, well, he whooped your ass. Still, I don't know.
yeah,
An ass whooping's an ass whipping.
man, I gotta use the bathroom.
Oh, that's funny.
We just piss outside, but if you gotta, right? Yeah.
You don't say it on the microphone. We have a nice
no,
establishment.
remember, yeah. We the facilities are right out to the right. Follow the dirt patches.
Yeah, Jai White. And then fuck, man.
My son just picked up all the dog shit.
Michael
today.
Jai White played Spawn in the real Spawn movie, which I wasn't really fond of, and they're supposed to put a new Spawn movie out,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
the Spawn, who's playing it? Is
I
it
watched some
Fox?
low budget movie with him, and it was pretty dope.
One of my favorite Jamie Foxx scenes in that Django movie is when he's got that guy in the rifle, and he's like, "Are you positive that's him?" And
He
he's like,
drops
"I don't
him?
know." He's like, "I don't know," and he's like, "What do you mean you don't know?" And he's like,
I don't know what
positive
positive
means." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Positive means you're sure. It means yes.
He's like, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm positive. You know what I mean? And then, bam, he just drops him. And
That's in
I-
Django.
And then he's like,
Yeah, so
I'm
so,
positive he did.
And I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
I respect
He
the
just
rifle,
drops
bro.
him,
Yeah.
and he paints
then-
the cotton
yeah,
field.
Yeah, it's nice.
And those rifles weren't that accurate, so shit.
Dude, open
Yeah,
side,
they're probably
I
accurate
don't
enough.
even think he had a bead and a fucking a two to work with. You know what I mean? It's just
accurate
pointed.
enough.
Oh,
Hey,
like, holy
hey,
shit.
so
I'm positive he did.
That
Yeah.
that led up to
Yeah.
there's this girl who was, oh, that's Big Daddy, and there's this I don't know slave driver, and he's whipping this dude against a tree, and Jamie Foxx he pulls the whip back, and Jamie Foxx, I think he snatches it out of his hand. And he starts whipping the white dude that's whipping, and the dude's like dancing around.
Yeah.
And it's like a classic revenge flick. Like,
Oh, it's awesome.
like so he's a freed slave, and he goes around just fucking motherfuckers up on some revenge shit to get his wife back, because they're like, yeah, we gonna keep his wife, and
It's
she's
a good story. I like
Oh,
that.
it's
Tennis
yeah.
Marino.
So in all honesty, it's a fucking brilliant love story, but it's just really fucking violent. And Samuel L. Jackson is I don't know how to say it politically correctly. He's the Uncle Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's funny though is Uncle Tom was helping black folks, and there was another dude, I can't remember his name, but he was the one that was actually selling black folks out.
So the shit was
It was like an Uncle
So
Dave.
it's all
or
yeah,
something.
it's
Willie
all wrong.
Lynch?
Poor Uncle Tom. No, it's a different thing.
Oh, okay.
But poor Uncle Tom. That's
Yeah?
what I always say. It's I mean, you ain't gonna change it now, but Uncle Tom was the one that was
Yeah.
helping everybody.
I remember you posting one time too about the word uppity and shit, and
Yeah.
the history of that word. Yeah.
Shit, you know that
Dick
you know
Gregory, watching him on YouTube.
mulatto is not a good term.
It's a horrible
Oh,
term.
that's
They call so
I heard that a long time.
one
ago.
time I had my daughter. It's not the worst thing she was called, but they're like the mulatto, and someone came in. We're at the Martin Luther King Center, and a whole white lady comes out and says, you can't say that. And I looked at the lady that said it because I didn't know myself either. And they're like, that's like, they think it's related to like a donkey or something.
Yeah, like a horse and donkey or something like that. Cross.
Yeah, but that's not the worst thing. That like I was working with another person. I had to go. I was a young father. I had to go through parenting classes and stuff. And some lady called my daughter a little monkey.
Yeah.
And even I was like, "What did you just fucking say?" Like she didn't mean it. I don't know. Maybe she did.
Yeah.
But she's like crawling all over. She's crawling all over stuff. I mean, you don't fucking say that fucking shit.
It's like when old white grandmas have their daughter bangs a Mexican dude and they start calling it their beanie babies.
Yeah.
It's the same shit, bro.
I remember that.
In Portland, I used to rage when I'd take my son to breakfast and it would be like an old white couple. Oh, how old is she? And I would rage and I'd immediately be like,
It's a boy.
It's a he. He's native. He has fucking long hair. Why do you guys keep saying that? And why do you assume such? Like, why is it like that?
Hey, my son got.
And the people, sometimes are like, fuck you, and sometimes they're apologetic. But, dude, I swear to God, every single time, I've done it at least 10 times. At least 7 or 8 of those times, there was a couple who were of color, you know what I mean, Mexican or black or whatever, and they're the only people in the room who turn and smile and are just like,
Yo, man.
right, kid. You know what I mean? Everybody else is jogging on the floor like, oh my God.
My son didn't get his first haircut for a while, and it's pretty fucking obvious. I have my son, and his hair's cleaned up. It would be like braided or like ponytailed. He looked like a fucking boy. He's wearing boys' clothes. And my daughter, she has long hair, and she's wearing pink girls' clothes. Yeah. And they said, "Oh, cute girls." And I'm like, "What gave you the fucking idea that these was both girls? Do you see how he's dressed?" I'm just like, "Yeah, we put him in all like the blue and black shit, and we put her in the pink shit just to confuse you, motherfucker."
Well, you don't have to worry about that anymore because they get to pick their own genders whenever they want.
Well, dude,
that bothers me too because we spoke about your mind isn't mature until a certain time. So like, what makes you think that like the kid I was saying? He said, "I thought you were gay. I thought I was too." Well, he doesn't fucking know yet.
Yeah. And I'm sure because my son, he's little. He doesn't give a shit either way. But it's like maybe when he gets older, he'll be like, "Yo, my pop kind of stood up for me." Mm-hmm. And my culture, you know what I mean? Because he's growing up in the city, not on the reservation, and so that shit is important to me.
Yo, can we be real though? When do you think's like in your honest opinion? Because I don't know everything. When do you think's an honest time that someone could actually make up their mind to who or what they want to be or their sexual preference, this, that, and the other thing? It can't be fucking 9.
I think honestly, I think it's just like a case by case situation.
Yeah,
right? Because I had friends that everybody knew they were gonna be gay.
I've had friends like that too.
They're like, and me, I didn't even see it.
I had friends like that we used to call gay before he knew he was gay.
I'm like,
and now he's a she.
I'm like, what? No.
Y'all know who I'm talking about.
He's got a crush on her, and everybody's like, bruh, he's gay, and I'm like, man, we're 6. Yeah. No, he likes her, you know, and everybody telling me, no, he's gay, bro. And I'm like, no, he stays the night at my house. I stay the night at his house. We play video games. Yeah. We kick it all day. We'll go to the basketball court, everything. Yeah. Everybody's like, he's gay. I'm like, he's not.
No, he's not.
Yeah,
and he was. He
yeah.
We seen him in the food.
And he's my bro too. He was in the movie. I was supposed to get on one to play a role.
Oh yeah, can we talk about that for about 5 or 7 minutes?
Oh yeah, can I run to the camera real quick? Because he was there filming it.
I'm fucking with you.
I had to film.
I just like making Mike pissed off.
It was a gay character talking on the phone. And Bob crushed the shit.
Good,
good. Because it was. He's still my
bro
too.
You know,
dude, every time I see him, even when he's doing bad, because sometimes he's been in trouble. On probation, it's like, bro, you're still my bro. You know, like it's good to see you, man. This is tough.
And I always was like, man, why do you keep saying that about him?
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, that's not true. Yeah. You know, we're just kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody but me knew.
Yeah. I knew a guy, he was gay. When I knew him, he was, I want to say about 29 or 30 years old. This was about 10 years ago. He said he knew when he was like 4 or 5. Damn, like, that's how. Yeah, he said he knew from then. Like he said, like either his sister or his aunt or somebody brought like a guy home, and like he thought they were really cute, like, and he was just obsessed with them, and like he knew from that moment. But he didn't feel comfortable until like after high school.
Yeah, for sure. And then I'm sure there's people that don't know.
Yeah.
No, I can look at I like women, but I can look at dudes and be like, hey, that's a good looking dude. Yeah. Like comfortably, people are like, oh, well, that's kind of gay, and I'm like, I can look at, I can be like, hey, this dude over here can probably pull a lot of chicks.
like
Him over
TJ's
there, probably
cartoon
not so
character?
much.
Yeah, like
You
my
know what I'm
cartoon
saying?
character's a good looking cartoon, bro.
He's a stud.
My oldest boy's mom, her brother, they're like a year apart. Yeah. So they grew up together.
Yeah.
He didn't come out until he was like a junior. But all of his aunties say that they knew too when he was.
Well, the aunties always know.
Yeah. but I think he even had girlfriends growing up until that point where he came out. But man, he treated me okay. He was cool. He was nice to me. Like him and his buddies knew I was trying to get a job this summer of 2014, and they all gave me some clothes, like some shirts and some ties and everything. They knew I was gonna go to interviews, and they knew I was broke.
Yeah.
And they hooked me up with some fresh gear for free. You know what I mean? Like my BM was just like, hey, Sergio and his friends wanted to give you this stuff, so I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
that's
every
dope.
time after that, whenever I cropped out or anything, I'd try and throw those guys some nugs.
I was happy as hell when my
Nice,
cousins
man.
gave me the hand-me-downs.
Yeah, well, dude, it was.
I used to
Yeah.
Top Dog t-shirts.
Oh, shit.
I used to get Top Dog t-shirts from my cousin.
I got a
I did
Latrell
not-
Sprewell jersey.
How
You
did
didn't
I
say
not
40?
say 40? Oh my God.
See, that shit slips. Because
Oh my
like
God,
people ask
man.
me like top 5 rappers. I could give you one right now, but it might change tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. But 40, I can't believe I did
a
not
big
say his
catalog,
name
too.
because that motherfucker.
There's some shit I could throw out of that
Raised
catalog,
me.
but there's some shit there's no way I would. Like after
major way,
after like album
Federal.
20, there's some songs I can get rid of.
Yeah, for sure. But
Oh yeah.
I mean, Federal and in a major way, I could just probably play back to back to back to
I
back.
stole that album from Hastings one time. I
we
had
gonna
the cassette
to
tape.
the next people on that list, P?
I mean, what? Do you want me to do it?
Oh shit, he didn't do
No, we
his
didn't
5
go around
yet.
the table.
Nobody else did theirs.
I forgot what it was. I was
never
gonna
left.
do it. We were just gonna go left.
No, but can I say something real quick? Because what you're talking about, like the acknowledging that somebody's good looking, I think that's something that we have instilled our brain from what we believe good looking people look like, right? But that's the difference between what we've been taught to believe as opposed to attraction.
Yeah, I don't
Because,
know
like-
if I'd say good looking, but I was like, oh, that's a handsome dude. He could probably pull a lot of
But
we could pull whatever he wants because this is 2021.
That's
Damn
developed
it.
from what we're trained to believe is good looking. But
Is it though?
I believe so because we've all been in a situation where we find somebody not attractive that other people are obsessed with.
Do you don't remember people
Right.
back in the day like, no, I don't judge dudes. I'm not gay. And you're like, what the hell's that got
That's
to do
the
with anything?
insecurity. That's the yeah.
There was
That's
right,
the-
right about college. It was like I could be like, that dude pulls hoes just because he's a fucking pretty boy.
Yeah, yeah.
And- but other guys are like, he pulls hoes because he got game. You know what I mean? Like, he's spitting it.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's just like normalize. You can normalize that too. Like you could tell your partner, I was like, man, you looking sharp, you looking handsome today, and not have him be like, oh, I think my buddy was hitting on me.
Like, bro, you look hot.
Or you're
Like, you don't walk up to your dude and be
ever
like,
go to
hey,
your
bro,
guy and
you're
be like,
hot.
Slap his ass. Bro, you look hot today.
you smell good, P.
Hit him with the woo.
I'll tell my bro he smells good. I mean, hey man,
Yeah,
what
but
is that,
you're
bro?
like, what is that? That smells good. It's not like you
Like,
smell
damn,
good,
boy.
bro.
They're the NFL dudes. Don't
Come a
they,
little closer.
don't they
Make
Get
play?
over here.
Don't they
Give me a
play?
hug.
Don't like all these sports stars play grab ass though? Like,
Yeah. dude.
Oh my god.
good game, buddy. Good game.
Rick, I'm sure had bros like that, but I'm sure you guys did too. That like, they were always too shy to holler at girls, and you'd have to pep talk the shit out of
That
them
was
going
me,
to the
bro.
bar, you know what I mean?
No, same, bro.
Yeah.
Same.
That was me. They said, "Yo, Mike, you could probably get her." I was like, "Oh, you think you know?"
And it's just like, man, just go ask her what her name is.
I want to be
Go
your
holler.
friend.
So can I call you later?
If you want to go shopping this weekend, I'll hold your purse.
I ain't done none of that shit.
Yeah, that is wild. Some dudes are just like, fuck it, I'll do it. Ain't that crazy?
I don't know. Are we? Well, I'll wait for Mike. I don't know.
Well, so because I had E40 while you were making your list, I had E40 in my mind. I was like,
He's
oh,
gotta be in
fuck.
mine,
because-
man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, you could throw him on there. You can have a 6.
Yeah, I'll trade somebody out for
Yeah.
40.
Yeah. But like for me,
bad
the first two to
sounds.
come to mind were Zero and I think a Big Crit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, both solid, man. Zero probably got about 50 damn albums too.
I know he's got a lot. Yeah, for sure. He's
Is
got
he
a
the one with all the albums named after the drugs? Or is that Trey?
yeah, cocaine, crack, heroin. Fucking, yeah. Love Zero, but
Yeah.
probably go Nipsey Hussle.
I like him a lot too, man.
This is where it gets tough. You know what I mean? Let's say E40,
Yeah.
Crit, Row, Nip, and then that fifth one's it's fucking dangerous.
Yeah, it's the hardest one.
You know,
It's like, who am I leaving out?
right?
Who do
Exactly.
you pick?
Got E40, Nipsey Hussle, Big Crit, and Zero.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
probably.
They all have pretty big discographies.
Honestly, like this rapper, like I was a huge fan for a long time, and then like his most recent like 5 or 6 albums, I'm not crazy about. But Tech Nine, man, honestly, yeah,
It's a huge catalog, too.
Yeah,
he has a lot of great shit.
Is that it?
Yep. It's on to you,
Shit,
Mike.
I'm going. I had time to even like think, but then I forgot about it because we like moved so
I know,
far
that was a
along.
long time ago.
Let's do Sade.
Solid.
Let's do Outkast.
Nice.
Let's do Scarface's whole shit. You got my homies too. That counts, right? It's a
Yeah,
compilation.
that counts. That counts. I got that on cassette to this day.
Nice.
Infatuated by what money brings.
Devin.
Shit, man. Scarface, Outkast, all their shit. Sade. Oh god, I'm trying to think of like really big discography, but I mean sometimes it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I would go with DJ Quick as well, and shit, I don't know if it would work if I said it, because I'm like thinking like
You thinking Prince or Michael Jackson? Which one?
oh, no, neither. But I prefer Prince over Michael Jackson.
Oh man.
To be honest, just because the stigma's not there, and then when Prince said, I mean, what we gonna sing the song like "Yo butt is mine"? You remember when he's like "Yo butt is mine"? He's like, whose butt?
Which also confused me. I'm like,
Yeah, he's like, because I'm not gonna walk up to Michael Jackson talking about "Yo butt is mine." I thought Prince was gay as hell back then, dude. And they're like, Prince pose hoes. Shit. Yeah, the Pac discography would be fantastic too. There's enough shit in there to get me. So there'd be like
much.
the Thug Lifes and all
hey,
that shit.
can we acknowledge Me Against the World?
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
So Many Tears is one of my favorite songs ever in life.
Lord knows.
Bought that at Unified Groove Merchants one day.
But Loyal to the Game,
Amazing
the
purchase.
bonus tracks on Above the Rim are also two of my favorite songs ever in life, and they're hard to get. The Loyal to the Game, and then he
Loyal
had
to the Game.
so much pain.
Yeah, so much pain.
Ja Rule
It's only on the
redid.
tape on Above the Rim.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on the
That
tape.
fucking beat,
Same
when
with
So Much Pain comes on.
same with G's Up, Hoes Down was only on the Doggy Style tape. G's Up, Hoes Down to all the real. Nate Dogg was killing it because they didn't clear the Isaac Hayes sample.
But the Me Against the World, man, might be. I mean, that's a top. That's at least a top 10 album for me.
yeah.
I want to say the first.
Can You Get Away? That was a good.
The first Pac album I had was Tupacalypse Now.
Yeah, Tupac.
Hey, the Psych had a dope ass voice. R.I.P. to Psych, man. He had the one album, Big Psych Daddy, and it had two bangers on it. The rest of the album though, like the Time Is Money, Money Is Time with E40 and Quick.
Man, I don't honestly. Like I say, I don't remember that, but sounds like I need to listen to
Banger. Quick beat. I think quick beat, verse, E40 verse, and Psych.
That sounds
Bro.
dope.
And
Yeah,
then
that was on the Big Psych
Yeah.
Daddy CD. Yeah.
the time is money. money is time, and then the
the
cold ass
hook, you
DJ
said?
Quick beat, just like some female Quick. I don't know. Quick works with a lot of female singers that I don't know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
The only
I had
like
strictly for my niggas first. And
I bought that CD for like $11 at the bookie in Pullman. I was like, no fucking way.
yeah.
yo like
I was supposed to
rap
get
was
something else, but I bought that CD instead.
kind of taboo. Like the people I grew up with, like they, but I didn't see like a lot of like white kids be listening to like rap music. And I was in Seattle, like on the beach for like a family reunion, like before my grandma passed away, and I heard "I Get Around" on like the beach, and they're like college kids or something. They had a bonfire and they're just fucking getting down, and I was tripping out. I was like, "This is cool," but I was like a kid, I was like, "This is fucking awesome."
Like, am I ever gonna figure this? There was no Shazam. You couldn't.
Yeah,
figure out what the
and it's like
song
back
was.
then, and it's like, "I get around."
Yeah.
That and then
That was a cool sample, man.
Hell yeah.
the
Shock G, so underrated.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Produced that?
yeah,
Word.
Shock G produced a lot of shit.
No shit.
Shock
When
G.
you're done,
That was one of the.
He produced a lot of shit for the Loonies. You know, remember he's like, "I Shock G,
Yep.
Shock Jesus."
I went to the E40 and Digital Underground show at the Knit downtown, right? And I'm like,
Did he do Hump?
oh hell yeah, he did.
Did he do his regular character too, though?
Yep. We Digital Underground came out. They did a thing. They did a Pac tribute. Shock G did like a whole compilation of shit that he produced, and it was so dope that I was just like standing there. And E40 came out and literally almost did In a Major Way.
Oh,
Like,
fuck.
See,
like-
when he did shows like
Yeah,
that,
yeah. And so
bro.
and here's the kicker: Spokane, Washington. Yeah. Spokane, Washington, the Knitting Factory, Digital Underground, E40. There was 13 of us at the show.
That's it.
That's it.
Damn.
What?
So I was
Where
like,
was it?
It was at the Knitting Factory.
Do you remember when SIBO was here? There was only like
Yeah.
10 people. I was like, they're like, "You coming to the SIBO show?" And I was like, "Motherfucker, I'm already in bed. I didn't know who promoted this show." I was like, "Cause I would have been there for sure." And he's like, "Yeah, there's like 6, 7 people here at the
What?
at the Hop." And it's like at
Did Bo
the Hop
perform for
for
6?
SIBO. Yeah, he
Yeah.
performed.
It's crazy.
No way.
And I was like, I'd walk. We could walk around, walk to the front of the stage, and they didn't care, you know. And then after that show, that's when E40 started having that timer up on stage, and that's right after that he got with Lil Jon and did all those tracks too. So
Yeah. Then when he
it
came
was
back,
just
his show was
Yeah.
popping.
yeah. Then his show was 30 minutes to the T.
Oh man, he was doing 30-minute shows when he like blue.
Yeah.
Man, most of them would
Did you
get
go to the
most of them
fairgrounds?
give an hour.
At the fairgrounds, people were like, "What the hell did I pay?" I remember the promoters then. They were like, "We paid so much, we flew them out, all this, and this happened." Yeah,
Yeah, most everybody gives an hour, and then sometimes if they keep the crowds loud enough, they come out and do a little more.
If you like performing, also, you know,
Yeah,
right?
I don't think 40 likes performing. I watched the
I don't think
I
so
watched the
either.
verses, and he was just kind of.
No, you didn't see all those famous 40 dances that
Yeah,
came out of the
yeah,
verses.
yeah, I
he
felt
got
like-
he
yeah.
got lit.
I've
feel
seen
like
him
he
kill
did
it.
for sure.
He got lit. But that show with Digital Underground, he almost did In a Major Way. Like no shit. And I'm like, I'm tripping because that was one of the albums
Did
right there.
Bila come with him?
Be Legit was with him. Yeah.
Damn. That's tight. I never
Sugar,
seen that.
Sugar T was there
Sugar
too?
T was there too.
Nice.
They did Sprinkle Me. All of it was
He
crazy.
brought them all
Yes.
in this at the Knitting Factory.
And Digital Underground. Like
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Kane, was that you, or was that just Novo that set up the Dog Pound show out here at the Knit?
No, that was De Novo.
Yeah, we did that show. It was okay. Corrupt was a dick.
Bro,
I hate when that happens because he's
Cool.
a
Well,
beast.
hey, Corrupt's a dick, but Q said, "Yeah, you just cut him out of his element," because Q was over. He said he was over at his house and they was recording. He said Corrupt was cool as shit. So I was like, maybe he just was like thought I was fanboy. I was like, man, I ain't fanboying. I was just trying to say what's up, man.
Yeah. You got to realize some of us grow up on that shit.
Yeah.
right.
I mean, I was fanboying, but I, kept it
You gotta
kept it
keep it
kosher.
cool.
Like when I met Devin, I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit, and Devin was like,
Devin the dude.
Devin
I gave
handed
him
me
some weed. That was tight.
Devin handed me the weed, and I was like, no, I'm good, man. I'm about to go on stage, and he's like, you want some beer? And I'm like, This motherfucker's
Did he
off.
do it in the country
Yes, I
accent?
did.
Nah, but
Hell yeah, I want some beer.
but then I did it to him when I walked away without trying to be awkward as fuck. I'm like walking off. I'm like, David, what the fuck you doing here, man? And he starts laughing. So I was like, all right, man, he's cool as shit. I was like, oh, he's offering me
so
beer.
calm.
Usually they walk up to him and be like, could I give you a beer? He's like,
Yeah.
you want?
Devin, that was another thing. When I met Devin, man, I was like, bruh, I make beats and I rap. And he's like, who you rap with, man? And I'm like, nobody. And he was like, oh, I like that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and he told me, take my number. And I took his number. And he's like, just shoot me something if you produce some beats, you know, you do something like that. I'm like, all right. And so, you know, of course, I waited
You waited too long.
Yeah, wait.
because
I waited like 2 weeks.
I got the number 2. I didn't call for like a year.
I'm like, man, is this too soon? Because I grew up on this dude's music too, right?
Right.
So I shoot him a text. I'm like, Devin? ? Right? He hits me back. He's like, oh, I got your name saved in here and everything. And I was like, oh, okay, I got a beat. And he's like, send it here to this email. And I sent it there. And he was like, all right. And I don't remember if he did a hook or not. I just know I never put shit out. So I have verses with like Crooked Eye and Devin and Chino XL.
I remember the Chino. I heard it like briefly because I was about the time y'all was. We had long conversations about that too. You were talking to him. I was linking up, and I was waiting to get the little money up because he didn't want much then. But then to me, it was a lot of money. Like this standard now, it's not. He's like, yeah, just shoot me like a couple $100, and I'm like, I'll shoot you a couple $100.
Yeah.
And I didn't do it. And then I was just kind of like, man, I sent him some shit. And I'm like, then I'm gonna have to like fucking like have to write to keep up with him. Mm-hmm. And that'd take forever. So I never did it.
That would take forever.
Yeah, and that's my brother, right? Like we had the same management for a while, and a lot of people didn't really realize that I was like, because I've always been quiet. I've never put nothing out. I was just writing raps and recording them once in a while, and then just like I said, I would play it for a couple of people, and that's where it would end. And
I got a hold of some of that KORT shit, man.
That's the first shit that I
Why don't
did.
you just like write for other people?
That's
'Cause
what
it
I
seems
wanna
like,
do
'cause
now.
It seems like you like don't want to do music. Just
Me
like
too.
Yeah.
write for other people.
That's what I
shit.
want to do.
Yeah.
And so when I did the first joint with Chino, he sent the verse, and I didn't hear the beat or the verse. He was just like, "Get on this, right? This is the one that we're doing." And he sent it, and the verse was crazy. And I'm like, "Okay, I can't be late. I can't take long. I can't make it seem like I'm thinking too hard." I wrote and recorded and sent the verse back in like 45 minutes. And he was just like, oh, shit, okay. Okay, whatever. We can do this. We ended up doing like one more or something. And but we were always really cool after that. Like we would spend like, we'd have some New Year's in Vegas together and stuff. And I would just listen to him. We'd be walking around the strip, and he'd just start freestyling, right? And I'm just like, man, I keep telling myself I'm dope. I'm like, I'm dope. And then he'll say something, I'll be like, bro, you just thought of that? Yeah, okay. I'm like, all right, I gotta step my game up, right? Because the verse that I wrote and sent back was dope. And
I remember you held up.
yeah, and so I did it real quick just to show. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna take a week to send something back, you know.
See, I would. That's why I second guess everything, dude. I'm like,
And I normally do.
that wasn't right. I think I gotta change. Like, I gotta change the whole beginning, and then I change the beginning, and then at that point, I'll have 5 pieces of raps, and I'll put them away, and then they'll end up being parts of something else.
Yeah, yep. And so it was cool just to be able to kind of be in a situation where there's a studio environment, and these cats are doing things a different way than I've ever done. And
They're just in there vibing.
yeah,
That's what I want to fucking do. I don't want to just sit and write and send
same
shit back.
Oh.
Same thing, man. So I'm at Can-Am Studios with these cats in LA.
Damn.
And so I'm there, and I'm like, damn, this studio's dope. All the plaques all over the wall and shit. And I'm just like, this is dope. And we're in the when they're just some beats are playing. Focus from Aftermath. He's Dre's producer.
He's dope.
Yeah, he's in there making all the beats, right? And I'm just like, okay, this is cool. It's whatever. And I'm just like, I'm gonna write to any beat that comes on, regardless if it's for me or not. Right? I'm just gonna keep writing. And then they tell me, they're like, this is where Pac did All Eyes on Me. And I'm just like, in this studio? They're like, no, right here in this booth, right? And I'm just like, oh shit, this is crazy. And so I'm like, I'm trying to soak up everything that I can. And there was some real dope shit. I think Chino did an album out of there while I was there, and he had like Busta Rhymes and other cats come through, and like it was crazy. And I just never put shit out. You know, and I'm just like, damn, why am I this way?
Yeah.
Why am I this way? I could put something out, and it just ended up not happening. But
Yeah, you're one of the most talented dudes I know that just doesn't put stuff out. I'm like, oh, Deekon Jones, but he's like, yeah, I'll put it out, and then I take it off a week later.
yeah,
I'm like,
Oh, just put it up and leave it up, man.
I don't get it. I don't even get that because I'm like super critical, like worst critic, like bad. But I'll at least like be like, oh, I'll just fucking put it on a CD.
I know you the least here, obviously, Deekon, and the shit you were playing for us. I'm just like, fuck, I want to listen to this later and tomorrow and the next day. This is good shit. Like,
yeah, I'm gonna try it. for sure.
So what are you gonna rap and talk box like hella on it? Is it gonna be like classic?
Yeah, there's
You know, the classic West Coast shit.
Kane brought it up. I'm hoping you're open. I would love to fucking play one of them songs on the show.
Yeah, no, for sure we can.
That shit was dope.
I'm doing 2 projects right now that I told myself, because I put out a single called Past Life, and that's me talk boxing like this R&B stuff, and I'm like, okay, now I got that out, so I have to finish.
Well, what was the one called that you put out for a while? Something electric or
Eclectic Electric.
Eclectic Electric?
Yeah,
and you don't? Did you destroy it?
I still have it.
Yeah.
I still have it. Yeah.
That was when you first got the talk box, right?
Yeah, that was my first time ever using it, and I did 10 tracks in 10 days because I had writer's block. I couldn't write shit, so I just like, I'm gonna plug this in and figure it out.
And you just
So-
like kind of self-taught yourself to do the talk
Yeah,
box because
yeah.
I was like, dude, I want to go get one because it's just like this classic
I do too,
vibe,
man.
but it's kind of intimidating or daunting. I'm like, should I just go get the pedal and all that stuff and just start dinking around?
Yeah. Rick did it, man. I'm like, man, I could call him if I get stuck, man. Like,
I had a homeboy in Denver, and he, oh god, was it Roger Troutman that passed away first?
Yep.
Yeah.
So his brother
Zach,
He has a brother Lester.
Larry.
There's a bunch
It
of
was
them.
Larry.
Yeah.
it was Larry, and Larry gave him equipment, and his name was Talkbox Pee Wee, and like dude kind of put him under his wing. Is a Hispanic dude. His writing was horrible. It was just like all lovey-dovey stuff, but I wanted to write some like classic. But so we like wrote the stuff, and he did the talk box for me. But that dude has been he been on like a lot of the Chicano albums, like the Chicano oldies and like lowrider albums. And the writing was okay. It was just like a lot of lovey-dovey stuff. So I was like, you got to write some like tough shit, man.
Yeah.
And he couldn't write no tough shit. So me and C-Ray wrote this stuff and like kind of sung it, and he sent it back, and he killed that shit.
That's the one thing I wanted to say too, Rick, was on the Tyrant compilation. Fuck, dude. That song with you and DeNovo, like that's one of like the top 5 on that CD for sure.
Was that the one with the TP, the toilet paper?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
red CD.
Yeah.
It's like
That was my first time ever in the studio.
Dude,
you
like
know?
that song went hard, bro. You and
I'm trying to remember that
DeNovo,
song
bro.
because I remember the album.
Donate the player, hate the game.
Yeah, I don't remember the lyrics.
Yeah.
God, I wish I could find a copy of that fuking shit. I think I had like 2 or 3 of them shits.
I gotta bring one. I'm sure I have one at home.
I had
I think I
had
was
it.
15.
I had it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was hella young.
I hadn't even put. I did music with James Bacotis and them. But it didn't. I mean, on the res, and then I kind of like out here, and like the reses we hit. I guess we did okay. Like 1,000 copies of the album, but that was like the first shit I did. And then that Tyrant thing came out, and that was like 2002.
Yeah, Yeah, because you were still like a sophomore when I went to Pullman, man, and you'd come up and party sometimes on the weekend and shit.
Yeah,
And it's like once I had the plug out the studio, I was like,
and I remember,
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
because I was 15 and I grabbed my homeboy and I was like, "Yo, there's a spot in Spokane. They got a studio. They're recording the album. They asked me to do something, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna go." So I jumped in my whip at 15, drove from Lapway up to Spokane. We stayed the night. We was just on some wild shit like 24/7.
We look, you ain't get pulled over, man.
Yeah, I know. Dude.
He was like the young buck, like, you know what I mean? And whenever I was DJing or anything too, I'd be like, nah, he's cool.
Yeah.
I don't care if he don't got eyes.
Hey, bro,
All
from
right,
from,
you know
from
what I
out
mean?
out there though, like that's what I was like saying, like y'all got some talented dudes out there. Like as far as what I know, like you, him, and then there's I don't know what he wants to be called. I'm just gonna call him Eli.
E-Bomb,
Eli,
Yeah.
fucking
Lover Rich he's got beats
producer
now,
dude.
bro.
But I was like, that's like rapping wise, a lot of talent out there. I think.
And Novo.
Yeah, De Novo.
Yeah, man. I just remember. I remember always just trying to. I would write 1 or 2 raps and I would spit that shit till everybody knew them.
Hell yeah.
You know, that's 1 or 2 raps. You're gonna hear it. Do that one again. You know, same one. All right, here we go. Yeah.
I have a homeboy like that, but it's just one. He has one, and when he gets drunk, he'll rap it on Facebook,
Oh yeah, we got the.
or he'll write it, or be like, "Yo, Mike,
Yeah.
let me spit that." I was like, "Oh, are you gonna spit that one?" Like it's like you're just gonna spit the one.
Hey,
like
that's kind of
the only-
refreshing to hear because usually you hear somebody you're like, which one? You know what it is.
Like your only
You know.
one.
Yeah.
It's commendable because it's like 40
that one.
bars. But if I like put a beat to it, he wouldn't rap on beat because it's super duper and I'm like, dude, you just like it would work now for the battle dudes that don't use a beat, and I'm like, you could just spit that at someone's, and they'd be like, what the fuck? But like you try to get him on a beat, and he's like,
So he's like,
What do I
that's
do
what he
here?
He's like, that's all I got.
I was like, you follow the beat, click, motherfucker.
We knew each other's verses that we had written down too.
You
Because
just
I remember
put that
recording
one.
on tape. Like we would do each other's
You just
little
had that one.
dubs and
Yeah.
dubs. Like you know what I mean? I had one line where I was talking about a lawnmower.
Yeah.
And Rick would do the lawnmower sound in the back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was cool, man. Like it was fun because that was what we had.
It's creative as fuck.
Yeah.
It's like that's what we got, bro.
What did the dude say in his rap though? I said something about Hilliard Hellraiser. I was like, are you gonna say that Hilliard Hellraiser one? Hilliard Hellraiser, something major, making money, checking the. I was like, said you
Call me on my pager.
Yeah, I said you mentioned pager in that motherfucker. You wrote that. You wrote that shit in 1996, bro, and you're rapping it in 2020. He get wasted. He's like, peep this rap, and he'll like type it out on Facebook, and I was like, dude, I've heard this rap. I've known you forever. I've heard it. It's the only one you have. I tried getting him in the studio to break the whole
Break the
long
cycle.
thing into 16 bar verses on beat. So we had a beat. He was able to get 4 on time. I was like, no, man, you got to follow the. You got to follow the.
You gotta know when to pause.
I hate that. That's the worst part of it.
So he got 4 bars, and he finally got 4 bars down, and then I was like, man, fuck this. And he's like, what? He's like, what you want to do? He's like, man, let's just go get drunk. So we went to get drunk, and we never went back to the song again. But he brings it up every so often. Just like, yo, I remember that one.
That's
Yeah.
why I
That
don't
one.
like to engineer most of the time. If somebody's like, "Yo, let me come through and record something," I'm like, "No."
Yeah, you gotta
gotta
imagine
learn
the
to rap
You gotta
on your
imagine
own,
you gotta
bro.
imagine
Fuck
the beat
that.
is.
You can't come to the studio if you don't actually know how to rap. You know what I mean?
There's dudes that are like they're saying
Well,
really
there's
they're saying
kind of-
really cool shit, but they're saying too much.
have to
And
have
I'd be going
rhythm.
crazy, and I'd be killing them, and I'm like, whoa, bro, the beat was like back there.
I was 14 or 15 when I went to Chris's spot to record for the first time.
Right.
And I didn't know about like verse bar lengths.
Uh-huh.
And he was so kind to me because like he just rearranged it for me and clearly, but and he
was
never
like, "Oh,
he
good
never
job."
made me feel bad about it once. But when I listen
that's
to it
funny,
now, I'm
bro.
like, holy, I was young, bro, but. There's like,
But did he like-
there's
did he like time you
5
up and
bar
shit?
verses, and then there's like 23 bar verses.
You're like, I didn't say that.
Yeah, I didn't know
It
the
sounds good.
structure was. Like, I was like, it took me a while, not till I was like
Was he-
17.
was
Somebody
he
was being
bur-
like, what? you need 16.
Was he building
or you need
hooks out of your
20. It needs to
verses?
be by 4s. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh.
Was he taking little pieces of your verses and turning them into hooks?
He would take the beat and rearrange it to make it sound like it was supposed to happen like that. Bless his soul.
I heard that's what the baby does.
Yeah.
Hey man,
his
for the young
He
dudes.
built a beat around his verse.
Are you
right
serious
here.
or clowning?
Hey.
No, somebody said he just writes like verses and then just picks the catchiest part and is like, all right, I'll repeat
That's
that
the hook?
part, you know?
Hey, the baby for the young dudes. He's kind of dope.
I like
him.
Lil Baby.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
heard-
not the baby. Little babies,
Baby.
little babies.
Lil Baby's dope.
Suge did the Suge song. Yeah, I'm
No,
talking
that's
about Little
Da
baby,
Baby.
not the baby. The baby's the one dude that says wah wah wah, bitch, I'm a
No,
baby.
that's Lil
yeah, he's
Baby.
whack.
Lil Baby says that.
Lil
You're
baby says that.
backwards, yeah.
I mixed up.
Well,
I like Lil
I
Baby.
like the
He
dude with
did-
the gold teeth that's always smiling.
That's not
That's
saying much.
the baby.
No, are you sure?
He's from North Carolina.
Okay, that's the baby.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like Lil Baby.
he's from
He's
North
from Georgia,
Carolina,
right?
His
North
name,
Carolina.
his name's Mike. He's from North Carolina.
This show how you
like
do it in North
sports.
Carolina.
And I like sports.
It's
and that's it.
light blue.
I like sports, so that's it. Yeah, I don't know. Like for like the I'm just like trying to think because like is Crit
young
is
rappers?
is Crit a new rapper? And I'm like,
No,
because he's like one of my
he's
favorite new
born in
rappers.
86.
dope.
He's my
And I'm like,
I love
I was like,
Crit, though.
Kendrick's like one of my favorite new rappers, but are they that new? I was like Anderson
Again,
Paak. He's
he's
one of my
born in
favorite new
87.
guys.
Crit are probably around the same time. Right?
Y'all heard that new Anderson Paak and Bruno Mars though, right?
He's
I
tight.
heard that came out today too.
Is it
Like
a,
an
out-
album?
No, there was a
Oh, a new
there's a
song.
new video, new song.
It's
that-
tight.
Oh, just a
It's
song.
fire.
Oh, that come out today or no?
Yesterday.
does it
Okay,
got
okay,
does it
okay.
got the class when Bruno got them classic West Coast slaps though? God damn, I
It's
love it.
Bruno?
What's it called?
Anderson's playing the drums. It's called "I'll Leave the Door Open for You."
Okay.
Is it a love song or
Yeah, but it's like
it's dope?
when you watch the video, it looks like you're watching the old Motown tapes, but in HD.
Did you what do you think about the called him a culture vulture because he's doing soul music? He looks like he's of
Islander.
African
he's
descent to
Hawaiian.
me.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he is, and I remember that whole thing going
He
on.
said he's a culture vulture. He's like playing black to do soul music, and I'm like, what the fuck?
I was just trying to
Uptown
figure out
funk you
if I was trying to figure out what they were talking about. I
was confused.
Yeah, honestly, I can't speak on it because I don't know the details of what was going on. I was just like, you know what? Some of his songs are huge. I was never like
They were just saying,
huge
I think
fan.
originally he was doing like doo-wop music, and then he started doing like soul, like classic, almost like Motown stuff, and they thought that he was being a culture vulture, and I thought he was of African descent.
Well, because to
I'm
me,
pretty sure he's an Islander.
all the Islander kids I went to school with, like they have songs on ukulele that are kind of doo-wop sounding, and that's kind of like they have. I think they play drums and stuff too, but a bunch of those motherfuckers would once we'd get drunk, they'd start singing.
Well,
and
whatever
playing
it
that
is,
little
man, dude
guitar.
got soul, man.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
so
he's a beast, and he
that's-
kills this new track.
That's how I looked at it too. It's like a guy who grew up singing in a church, like Nate Dogg grew up singing in a church, but look at the shit that we jam over and over again. Like his grandmas and aunties are probably like, "Fucking goddamn that kid." You know what I mean? But we love it. You know
Hey,
what
yo,
I mean? So
it ain't no fun.
Yeah, bro. So
Deacon.
that's how I would compare Bruno Mars to. But the question was to Deekon Jones. So.
Yeah, I'm just saying if I knew more, I could speak more on that. But
Hey, you heard of Leon Bridges?
yes,
Jesus Christ, he's dope.
there's a few of them cats, man. Like
What? Who?
I like
Like,
Gary Clark Jr.
I'm trying to
him
figure.
too.
I'm trying to figure out what brought it to someone's forefront or attention to be like, young dudes are gonna start doing the old soul shit. And
yeah,
I was like,
love it.
so I heard Leon
I do
Bridges, and
too.
I was like, how old is Leon Bridges? He's like, he's got to be fucking 50 or something, and he's a young dude.
Because that sound is more clear now, and it didn't get its deserving respect back then. They're bringing it back. Like there's some
So
classics
fire.
out there.
Jacob Banks.
Oh,
Y'all
I
heard-
heard that. No.
There's some
Write that
people
down.
that are
Listen to
there's
any of
some
these
people that are
cats.
doing that shit
Oh my
really
ass is
well.
sore.
I have a ton of Leon Bridges. What's the other? What's the? Let me look it up while y'all banter. But I heard Leon Bridges and I was like, this is so dope. So I listened to like his debut album and I listened to it like all night. There's a couple songs I played back and forth, but I started sending shit to TJ and TJ was like, what is this? And I'm like, this
Jacob Banks was here too.
I was like, this he's like a new dude, but he's not new because he's
I
because
think
he's
River
old
was
school.
the first song you sent me.
Yeah, what the
It
fuck?
was incredible. My daughter loves that shit now.
Can we play one of your Deekon Jones songs, man?
Yeah. Jacob Banks was here in Spokane at the Knit like 2 years ago. We went to it, and this is it.
Yeah, River, Texas
now we're
Sun.
gonna get flagged on YouTube.
Oh yeah, that's right. His shit is just like that.
I
sounds
forgot
really
what the
good.
guy's name was.
Sounding.
His album is White Black Man. He's a very fair skinned dude, and he has an album called Resurrection Blues. Otis something, and it's just like super old school
I love that shit.
blues. But I mean, dude's probably in his 40s, but it's
Have,
like new.
The dongle or whatever.
I don't have that with me.
I got the connector.
Oh, really? Yeah. Because we could do it like 1/8 inch into the thing too, so
Yeah, we could go direct.
it'll be on the video and do everyone's headphones too.
The one.
AP.
And I don't want to rush you, but
Yes.
Here, before we get flagged,
You know what I mean? Yeah.
this song. I was like, oh, that's some old shit.
I have the.
Oh.
the
I
top
cleared
box
the
joint
sample.
that I put out. I don't know. Do I play that or I play some rap shit?
Yeah, I want to hear the Talk Box one.
Okay.
Yeah, introduce it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, this is my single "Past Life," and it's out on all streaming sources.
Hell yeah.
iTunes, Spotify, all of it.
Check it out.
And so this one, I got to set it up a little bit, right? Because
Yeah, tell us the story, man.
yeah, when I wrote it, it was because I'm always thinking about things where I actually spoke about it on social media as well. It is.
Damn, dog, I'm on Spotify right now. Like, he really only got one song.
Yeah, one song, and it's R&B. So
yeah.
it's Past Life, where I talk about us as human beings live multiple lives, and in every life we try to reconnect with that one person that we're supposed to be with, or it could be more than one person over many lifetimes, right? So one of the things is you could be in Spokane, Washington, and the person you were with before might be in New York, and you might move to New York one day and run into somebody that you're like, yo, this person is it's the shit, you know. And so that's what this song's about. Is like always finding your love from the past life.
Yeah, I like it.
That's tight, man.
And people can find it everywhere right now. right?
Everywhere, yeah.
You made the beat.
Yeah, I produced it as well, yeah.
Fuck yeah, Rick. Fuck yeah.
I'm so used to this fast life, I can never act right, baby. So please come and slow me down. I know you from a past life, searching for a lifetime, maybe. I'm destined to hold you down. Just look what you've done to me. The streets just have not been the same. Not been the same. I'll give what you want from me. Even if it's my last name, I want yours to change. You've always been my lifeline. Been after this the whole time. You have to see the goal right.
Heavy drums.
There's something that I won't fight. No one really knows me. That's why this is so deep. I'd rather sit here lonely than continue chasing trophies. How deep is your love?
Keith Sweat.
I'm here and I'm willing to drown.
80s times.
When push comes to shove, it's right if that's how I go out, how I go out. Just look what you've done to me. I wonder how we're gonna meet in the next life. I'll give what you want from me.
Yeah, man.
Deacon, I
Yeah,
promise
that
you, if
shit
you
is
leave it
jamming.
up and you don't take it down, I'll be playing that all summer long at barbecues.
That shit's jamming, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit's jamming.
And I ended it on an off bar.
I'm adding it right now.
Oh, I already had it.
I ended it on an off bar, so the song didn't like end on a regular note because I'm like, no, because past life means there's a future life. So that shit just keeps
Deep.
It's like
I
it's
like
not
that.
done. When you hear it, you're like, there should be more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
man.
it's classic
man.
sounding too, man.
Yeah, dude.
This like some shit that like there's shit that's missing. Like when I was talking about Leon Bridges, it's shit that's missing. Like they're like that music stopped because it was that era, and then you didn't get it
Auto-tune
anymore.
Plug-in is not the fucking same shit
So,
at all, kids.
I was trying to give people a breakdown. Like, if you guys don't
Not at
understand,
all, man.
if you guys don't
Fuck.
understand what this man is doing, he didn't sing into a microphone and it didn't correct the pitch for him. He played the keys to match.
And used his
The
mouth
voice.
around a microphone tube to shape
Oh,
the sound.
I just
You
showed
know
my
what I
cousin
mean?
that the other day.
Like, people don't
He
get
put
the
a
talk
video up and I
box.
said, hey,
Yeah, the talk
check
box.
this out. And he's listening. He's like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like, no, watch the video. Did you know this is what they have to do to make that sound that we enjoy so much? He goes, what?
Yeah.
Hey, you gotta play.
always
You gotta play the key to match the tone. You don't just go in there and say, "Do you believe in love after love after love?" Like, man, that old Zapp and Rogers shit. Them motherfuckers. Like, dude. Hey, when
That's what it reminds me of too,
That's
bro.
that's what I knew growing up.
When I seen Zapp and Roger, or not Zapp and Roger, just Roger Troutman, when Roger Troutman was in the studio with Tech Nine. Did you
Wait,
see
what was
that?
the
Yeah.
song
Yeah.
called?
My song?
Yeah, that we just played?
Past Life.
Past Life is.
PASTLYFE.
They don't make music like that no more, bro.
No, man. I mean, Peter
yeah,
Frampton
good
did his
shit.
thing with the top box, too.
He did
yeah.
too, yeah. For sure.
You,
with the
you know
guitar.
any
Yeah,
female?
which is
I
You know any
appreciate
female
that.
yeah, hell yeah,
vocalists
dope, very dope.
Yeah, I know. I know
that
a
would
few.
that would highlight the talk box? You know, like when they did the talk box, they'd have an actual singer like singing with the talk box. I don't know. It's just
There's,
things that's floating in my head.
In my talk box, I went to see Zapp when they were down in Lifeway, right?
Oh,
And
no shit.
yeah, Lester signed my talk box. And I brought it with me. I was like, I gotta come on, bruh. I grew up on this shit 100%, right?
That's right, man.
And I always tell people, no, it's not auto-tune. And some people are asked, like, what's the tube for in your mouth? And all
These
this
people
stuff,
don't get it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, look, I put the tube in my mouth. I have to play every note that you hear, and I just form the words with my mouth at the same time. Yeah. Right? And they're like, I don't.
Yeah, like I think
Right.
was Peter Frampton the first one to do that.
No, there was a country singer like
With Peter Frampton, because I remember that wow 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 wow.
it was like the
wow,
40s
wow,
or
wow.
50s. This cat.
and he's doing it with the guitar.
Yeah, he's doing it with the guitar. But there was a cat that was playing it on keys in like I don't know if it's the 40s or the 50s.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was getting it back then. There was some cats before that.
Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite
Roger Troutman.
artist
Yeah,
that besides Troutman that kind of paid homage to him?
Quick does
That did it.
okay.
Quick does good. Battle Cat is a monster.
Are y'all leaving Bosco out?
No, I'm not
No,
because
I love Bosco too.
yeah.
That Gimme Head song.
Yeah,
E40, bro.
E40, yeah.
Oh my god.
Bosco, he put out his new talk box. Did y'all see
Yeah,
that? Yeah.
You
just
he
put
has
it
a
on
pedal?
you just put it on your neck and there's no tube.
what's it? It's called
Electro spit.
Electro
Was it like
spit.
vibration?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It's not like I was like he was crowdfunding it and I was like, dude, I'd probably buy it.
I'd buy one. But that's not what he used on the E40.
No.
No, he used the regular
No,
talk
he
box.
created his own with science. Science, bitch.
It's
He looked like
science.
Pinkman though.
Science.
Doesn't
You're gonna kill a rice and bean show?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that shit's dope, bro. I don't know, like the classic shit people abandon, and even they're like, I'm doing auto tune. I was like, this sounds horrible.
And that's the dope thing is like I'll post a video and you'll look on there and Bosco will like it and he'll comment like this is fire.
That's cool,
Right? And
man.
then every time he posts something, I listen to it, I'm like, bro, it's different. like the tone and the sound is different, but he'll do an update to his app, and it'll have a different vibrato or a different something. And I'm just
Have
like,
you tried it?
I haven't. I haven't. And
That-
then I'm just like, yo, that shit is genius.
That's one of the dudes. That's one of the dudes I met in Portland who was fucking like cool as shit. I don't know if he's cool as shit because me and Cool Nuts, that's the homie. So
Bosco seems cool.
So
as
he
shit,
introduced me, and he was just hanging out in the club, and we were just chilling, we were drinking. Like and that was, I think he had done. He ain't did the shit for J. Cole yet, but he did the shit with like Limp Bizkit, and he's done shit for 40 for years. I'm like, this is fucking Bosco.
K-Fed.
I wanted that.
You know
for
that
so
K
long, right?
that K-Fed song?
When Craziness met Cool Nuts, it was like I think we got it was less than $1,000 for Bosco, like maybe $5, maybe like
We had the
$700.
me and
But
Q
when
had
he
the
did
Bosco
Kanye
track.
workout plan,
K-Fed.
Yeah.
Like
that next
Britney's.
summer, it was
Yeah,
three-
Kevin
okay,
Federline. He had a
I had
song
a
with
whole
Bosco.
rhyme I
sure.
said.
No,
I said,
look here,
now let
bro.
me tell you
That's how
something.
it
Then I
goes.
Federline's
Bro,
like
I can't-
Britney's ex-husband.
He's like, I can't pick up unless you're talking about
And,
Look.
and Kanye really let that fucker just juice that song for like 10 minutes. Kanye's workout plan. Like, nah, do what you want. And then he kept everything, dude. It was like, holy
Hey,
shit.
hey,
That's
hey,
rare.
dude.
Yeah, it is rare, man.
The song.
That's why I think Kanye's kind of cool.
The song that K-Fed did. K-Fed didn't write. Your boy, remember the rapper Your Boy?
Yep.
Your boy wrote
Your
all the
Boy.
verses. But Bosco,
Your Boy.
Bosco can sing too. Bosco sung
Yeah,
the
he's
hook,
got a
No
great
Talk
voice.
Box.
I love his album.
And I was
dude.
like, this shit is so slapping. What the fuck did he give it to this goofball for? The song was original.
Dollar.
So, well, exactly, because the song, that exact track, you know what song I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's
I'm
called
about
Privilege.
to wet my throat.
Why did he shoot in a bitch like Britney?
Yeah, right. That song was actually Bosco
times.
and Maniac
Let me get
Loke.
one more. Let me get one more.
oh, really?
That was Maniac Loke's song with the Bosco hook, but Bosco, I mean, duty calls. I guess Kate
Yeah,
they want
for
to buy it.
sure.
He's like,
Oh,
yo,
yeah.
and I'm sure Maniac was like, yo, man, you got to do what you got to do.
You want a house or not?
Right, right. It's like certain songs that you think of, like do you remember?
Well,
like,
E40 did the song Just Fucking, where he kept Bosco's hook, but Bosco has a whole song, you know. But
do you remember the song "Desperate" on Critical's album with Wands? Wands that did Thrift Shop.
yeah.
So Wands from Seattle, he did the Thrift Shop track. He did a song called "Desperate." It's on a friend of mine, Critical's album, but the song originally was for Smoke. You remember Smoke?
Oh, yeah.
So Smoke from Full Time Soldiers, he's like, man, he's super pissed because he's like, that was my track. And the song was actually kind of like bigger in Seattle, but that was before Wands blew with the "I'm about to pop some tags." So I was like, man,
How many dollars did he have in his pocket?
20? Was it 20? I feel salty too. He's like, man, that was my song. I'm like, yeah. It's just, shit happens, man.
Duty calls.
Hey, Deacon,
Right.
aside from your own book, I'm going to piggyback off. Kane had a question for C-Ray, and it sounds like it'd be a good one for you. If you could recommend 5 books for the people to read,
Was it 5 or
what
was
would they
it 3?
be?
I asked him 3, but
did you?
5's a lot, man.
Yeah,
because
we'll
do that.
stand for
I
3.
knew I was around some guys who probably don't read books that
I'm so
much,
used to 5s
three-
around here.
3
It was 3?
sounds like an easy
Yeah, it was,
yeah.
5 for
sure.
reading books. You
Oh,
know?
yeah, so 3. If you could recommend 3 books.
The autobiography of Malcolm X.
Okay.
That one for sure, for sure. Behold the Pale Horse.
Behold the Pale Horse.
Behold the Pale Horse.
Okay.
A Pale Horse.
Man, yes, good recommendation, Rick.
and
Yes.
and damn, I don't want to be corny, but you know
Charlotte's
how
Web.
yeah, damn, you stole the words. You know what's
I was in Charlotte's Web my sophomore year in high school, bro. Drama class.
the corny typical answer is 48 Laws of Power,
That's
right?
a good one.
You know, but there's so much game in there. It's like, man, you can use it for
Well,
a
you
lot
can
of
learn a
shit.
lot in that book. You really
the
can.
50 one?
The
The 50th law.
Yeah.
I feel like the 48 Laws
they
of Power kind of
re-released
teach
it.
you to be an asshole.
They do.
No,
they
for
teach you
sure.
how to be a master manipulator. They really
they teach
do.
you how to be a capitalist
Yeah.
for sure.
They don't teach you. I feel like it doesn't teach you to be a really good person.
yeah, they just
Right.
about winning.
Machiavelli, the prince.
Strike hard.
Yeah.
Power
Strike
is
him in the
not,
jugular.
Yeah, power is not respect.
Yeah, and it's not showing
it's
love to
good
people.
lessons.
Yeah.
Your moral compass doesn't matter as long as you have the power.
But it's also what I
But
think
power is respect. Read the J. Pinch.
J.
No,
Prince,
the
yeah.
power doesn't show respect, the respect comes towards the power, right?
Okay, two more then.
2 more.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were easy.
Yeah, those are easy. I read. There's one called like it's the philosophical. It's a book about indigenous people, Native American psychology, right? This book is it's crazy because it talks about psychology from an indigenous worldview, which to me is crazy powerful because they're like, no, see, this is what is going on in Western psychology, but this is why it doesn't work when you're working with indigenous people of any kind, right?
Right.
And that it like blew my mind, and I read it over and over and over.
I like
again.
that because I just saw this meme that I laughed at, but I was like, God, that's fucked up because it's true. But it was like a white woman in a pool throwing her child up in the air, right? And it was like the white woman was labeled America, the kid up in the air was labeled like American history, and there's a kid over on the side drowning. It says African American history, and then there's a kid at the bottom of the pool, and it says Native American history. And I was like,
Yeah,
that's fucked up.
Yeah,
That's
man,
real
but-
fucked
and that's
up.
real though.
Yeah.
And that's that's the fucked up part.
Yeah.
Hey, that's frustrating as shit too.
That's why you writing a book is really big shit too, dude. Because no matter what,
Yeah, where can we get it?
people are gonna read into the next thing. I don't give a YouTube
Amazon.
video.
Is it on
this
Amazon?
big, but people
Yeah.
are gonna read.
Did you say anything too heavy though?
Even if it's just based on your culture or ethnicity, it doesn't matter, bro. Your message is gonna reach those people who are looking to hear from someone who is authentically like for
sure.
Did they say anything? Did you say anything too heavy in your book because it's Amazon? They might like ban you or something.
No, I mean that would be dope.
You could get the
The
hard
whole-
cop through there?
Yeah,
Okay, I'll
yeah.
be buying it
and,
right after the
and
show. I
there's a
promise.
digital copy as well. But yeah, the whole book is heavy as shit. So I think getting banned would be dope. For what
Hey,
I'm
so I was having a fucking good chuckle because like the whole Dr. Seuss thing, and I'm like, man, the motherfucker was old as shit, and like a lot of people are like, that's like a good standard to live by. Like even though Obama said, hey, like Dr. Seuss would teach you some good lessons, and like he was a racist piece of shit, and I'm like, well, he's dead and he can't even fucking defend himself. But in the same token, they have Mein Kampf and Hitler's. Like you can buy that on Amazon. But you get rid of some Dr. Seuss shit.
I like the Asian guy on Twitter who quoted the shit and he said, I eat with sticks. It's just kind of like he's not lying. Like,
No, they said that the boy from China eats with sticks, and someone posted it, and
I don't know.
Dude says, yeah, me too, motherfucker. Like
There was some other shit in there too. I'm not sure exactly what it was.
I
I
saw it.
I didn't see everything either. but
Islo schooled me on Twitter a little bit too. He said that there was another book where he had I think he said monkeys in a zoo, but they resembled imagery of an African American tribe.
Yeah,
And I was like, oh shit, I didn't see that one.
A lot of the characters were that where he drew African people is like these animal caricatures and shit. And me, I'm just like, I love to tell people if you knew better, you do better, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, yeah, I understand it. I mean, right now, nobody did it. It was the
like
Seuss
how
estate.
like how old was the old motherfucker? He was fucking like 100.
It's old as fuck.
He would have turned 117 this year.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like at this point, it's his estate that's not publishing the 6 books.
Exactly.
It's not outside people.
Nobody's
So-
came at
so,
them. You know what I mean?
So what
Nobody
I'm saying
came
is
at them
now
upset.
they know better, so they're doing better.
That's my. That's
I was
exactly
curious what it was.
my
I thought it
point.
was just the whole cancel culture thing, and they're just
Nah,
like, "Why just
no.
gotta fucking get?"
A lot
rid
of people
Dr.
are saying
Seuss."
that.
You know, people want something to be mad about,
Yeah,
so
for
that's
sure.
why a lot of people think it's the cancel culture people.
Yeah.
You know what
But
I mean?
it was the Seuss estate
Yep.
that was like, yo, this is some racist shit, and we don't want to publish this no more.
Exactly.
And I'm like, that's the gold standard. If you knew better, you do better.
Exactly.
Right?
I
So
told
let's
these-
do better.
Yes.
That was my point. You know what I mean? Somebody was like, "Well, we know it's not okay, so let's keep." You know.
Yeah.
And I was
it's
like,
it's-
"No. Well, since we know it's not okay, then we know not to fucking print this shit anymore because
I'm
why?
still,
you know
I'm still
why?
rocking with Mr. Potato Head though.
I'm like, I'm like, okay, do what you do. I just don't know what else to call them.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
you
That's
know,
what because
we're late in the game. Just like, you know, it's like
I don't know what else to call him either.
I just bought a potato head.
But when he's saying like knew better, do better, I told you guys a story a million times, and the lady meant no fucking harm, but it was pretty fucking harmful.
Yeah.
When we do like yard work, she pays us money, shovel snow and stuff, and she's like, "So where's that nice colored boy you hang out with?" And I'm like, "Yo, I don't think you're supposed to say that." She's like, "What do you mean?" She loved the dude. She's like, "No, I like fucking adore this dude," but she just said the fucking colored kid, and I'm like, I don't know.
Well, my precious abuela still does the same shit when it comes to people of Asian descent. She calls them Oriental all the time. I'm like, I don't think you're supposed to say that no more, Grandma. She's like, what? That's what we always.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. I think Oriental will get more of a pass than the colored boy, though.
Well, I think all racial issues with Asian in general gets more of a pass than most. I don't know why, but it seems to be more acceptable.
So since Kane's already gave his opinion on that, what is Indian disrespectful to you?
Yeah, I don't do the Indian,
But Native American doesn't sound correct either.
No, I say indigenous.
Okay.
That's my favorite word too.
I like indigenous.
Yeah. But here's the
Not that
thing.
I have an
This
opinion,
is what I
but-
try to tell people because we got into
That's
this
what I feel
whole
the
thing.
best about.
You remember when the country singer called the dude the N-word? Morgan Waller.
Well,
Yeah,
dude, I
yeah,
love
yeah,
his
yeah.
music, and then I saw you post that, and I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
I gotta stop listening to his music.
I don't know what
Right.
what.
So they were out drinking and stuff, and his neighbors, black dudes, was like trying to tell him, keep it down. They're revving up the trucks, they're yelling and screaming and stuff. And he calls the dude, he says something about an N-word to the dude, right? Or about the dude. And he was on camera. And everybody's like, okay, that's racist. And then his record label was like, we're threatening to shelf him and we're not gonna stream his stuff.
Yeah, I've heard
more.
of the dude, and he was like trending, but I didn't give a fuck.
And then what happened is his song shot to #1 and broke a record for being on #1 after that happened.
Damn, I stopped listening to him after that happened.
When it was trending, I thought
That
that
means
was
all those people were like,
that
"Oh, he had
totally
the balls to
changes
say
this
it."
for me,
That's
dude.
fucked
That's
up.
no, he had. So it was
Who
his
is this?
neighbor.
Morgan Waller.
His
when it was
neighbor.
trending. I thought they were talking about your guys.
Yo,
tight
so
end
I
or-
thought.
Oh yeah.
Then this is how
Waller,
little
right?
I pay attention to this type of shit. I thought that he was like calling his buddy, that, and I was like, it's
Is that like-
bad,
is that
but
like
it's,
I don't
you
even
know
know
what
who
I
this
mean.
is.
But I didn't realize.
When we went to record at Speak Spokane,
Jeez,
Yeah.
what a
the country guy I was hyping up to you and Paul.
Oh, you stopped
that
listening
guy?
to him since then.
I don't.
Yeah.
Hey,
fuck?
so is that?
I never heard
That's
his
not
music.
that.
It was like a week or two.
So it
later,
wasn't
I
the
saw Rick
same
post
as
that, and I
like-
was all
Oh,
right.
is it the one you told me to check the album out?
Yeah.
Oh, that guy?
Yeah.
Oh
Are
shit!
you
I'm glad I
fucking
told you I didn't like it.
serious?
It wasn't the same as like Richie Incognito then.
Yeah, fuck him.
Well, because you're like Waller's came out fucking maliciously, and
Dude.
Incognito was just being a fucking douchebag to his friend, or alleged friend.
Yeah. It's a
It
legend.
looked like he was like bullying the dude.
Yeah, he was for
Yeah,
sure.
he
Like they're like, oh, he was just locker room hazing him. It's like it looked like the dude didn't like it, but he wasn't
Yeah,
like
he was
kind of
seemed a
scary.
little
It's
extra.
assault, whatever term you put on it.
Yeah,
But the crazy thing is, dude shot to #1 and like started breaking records for being #1 after that happened.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
well, you got to think that a lot of country fans. I mean, they're probably not.
Oh no, I know where I was going with it. I remember now. Okay, so it was the indigenous and the Indian and the other stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get into a debate with a dude. He's a white guy, and he's like the typical dumb shit that I even put in my post. Don't tell. He's like, well, you guys say it, so why
Who
can't
was it? Who was
everybody
it?
else?
Thad?
No, nah.
I love Thad. Shut up.
I met up with him one day because I told him shit was going left.
Hey, he
And I'm
like- he
meet
like-
me.
He liked to talk.
Yeah, and like meet me, and we met up, had a beer. I explained everything to him, and I said, "Tell me what you think." And he's like, "Well, what you said makes sense. You're a cool guy. We shook hands. It was all good.
Yeah.
And I'm like, sometimes you just need a new perspective.
Well, that's how it is debating with you. Like that's what I said. Like, yeah, you ain't gonna get. That's why I was like, did you like want to be a lawyer or something?
Yeah,
I remember like I remember the Deekon Jones Jinx beef.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know if you're probably not the same person you were then, because
No.
like Jinx is a tiny, like not a very big dude, and I guess it's like, I mean, do you want to get beat up? And Jinx is like, no, not really.
I'm not that guy.
What do you say to the white people that because we've all heard this? They say, "Well, we invented the word."
Yeah, no, I've
the
never
fuck?
had
never
one
heard
say
that?
it to me before.
Okay, I've
They're
heard,
just
No.
like,
No.
say it to
I've
you.
heard white people say this so many times before.
Fucking idiot, dude.
Well, we
You should-
invented the word.
You should
But what
slap
I try
them.
to tell people was, I'm like, would you go to a reservation and they're in ceremony, and you come up and you say, "Well, why would you do it this way?" And and they're like, "What? This is what we do. Who are you to tell me how to do our ceremony?" Right? People don't do that.
Right.
I don't think
And
people
I
are
said-
stupid enough.
And I say, why would you not do that? And they say, because that's their culture and I don't know anything about it. So why would I be the expert? I say the same thing for the N-word and black folks. You don't know. You're not in our culture. You're not. This is a cultural thing that we do. And just like that ties into the Indian and Native and other thing, we call each other Indians.
Yeah.
But you don't call me Indian.
He was a fucking tall Indian who could dunk on him, man.
That's what we do. And then if you come up, you're like, "Oh, you're Indian." I'm like, "What? Nah, hell no. I'm not from India. What are you talking about?"
Right.
And it's just a cultural thing.
That was the whole thing that got me. Like the
What if
Hey,
one of
wait.
these guys said, "Hey,
Yeah, now
man,
I'm conflicted again.
well, see,
Kane?
I told them that I wasn't tripping because I said if you say these guys went to a basketball tournament,
My
and
grandfather
there was
says
a skin kid there who was dunking on fools. If they said, "Hey man, there was an Indian kid there. I don't know what tribe or what res," I wouldn't be totally offended. Like that's.
But TJ,
But-
you're indigenous here.
But yeah,
Well, yeah, but
And
I still
that
struggle
word
with it.
indigenous, I try and use that when I'm speaking.
So
to
if
other
I
people
struggle with
who
it,
don't
I
know,
can't
you know
imagine
what
what
I
it feels like for other people.
'Cause I
Well, it
told
feels
TJ
like
the
for
same
me,
thing. He
when this
thinks you're
cocksucker
Mexican,
over
and I'm
here is like,
"Oh."
you need to go get all that shit so you know what you are. I was like, well, I know what I am. So I was like, well, I know what I am, but most people are like, he's a fucking Caucasian dude. I was like, well, I'm hella shit, but indigenous is part of what I am too. So like, you saying you can't fucking see that.
Well, I
Like-
told TJ he's indigenous. I'm like, you're
Well, he is.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's just from a different part of the map and
Yeah.
a different
Yeah,
language
they put
conquered.
this.
It was
White
it was
man's
here.
border.
It was in this. It was in this.
That's a big
Well,
debate
what you said-
too, man.
Well, what he said to me, it will always ring in my head because it goes, "TJ, you are indigenous to this continent," and I was like, and it rang in my head forever. I was like, "Whoa!" It changed my life.
Yeah,
Less than a year ago, I was just like, "Whoa!"
That's what I always tell them because a lot of the people will be like, "No, we ain't the same. We speak Spanish. I'm Mexican. It's not the same."
Well, because
And I'm like,
I
"Bruh,
get told to go
it's-
back to where I came from,
Yeah.
and this is where I was born, anyways. But
And
at the same- I'm
and
just
I'm like, we speak English because of one thing. You speak Spanish because of the same thing.
Exactly.
Yes.
You know,
Right.
Yo, my
Different
people
language.
down there in San Diego, they're indigenous to that exact spot, San Diego, like that area that was Mexico at one part, but at one time, and they speak Spanish, and their last name is Rios, and they say we're not Mexican. We're native. We're Native American. Nah, we're Mexican. Nah,